That famous noise. Anyone coming on? Come on. Oh, that beer's cold. Oh, that is cold. Who have we got on here? Are we going to reveal ourselves, so to speak? We'll do a little quiz in a minute. A little quiz. We'll do a little quiz. Why not? I'm fed up with hearing everyone arguing all the time. Same shit, different day. Same people, different groups. Oh, hi Francesca. How are you? Yeah, I might do a quiz. We'll see how many people come on. I'm fed up with doing a quiz with one person. How you doing anyway? What's the weather like where you are? Is it all right? It's not bad here. We've had some nice days. Gets a bit cold of a night, but we've had some nice sunny days here. Bit muddy, the track's a bit muddy. Nothing I can't get through. I need more than 2 people to do a quiz. It takes a little while for people to find my channel. They're normally arguing somewhere with someone or listening to an argument. It seems like that's what internet thrives on, is arguments. Or YouTube anyway. No, Tom, you're not getting on me that. Go and shoot. You're a pest. You don't keep still. That's Told the cat. She doesn't bully me. Anonymous. Oh, very good. Anonymous. She doesn't bully me. You got to understand. Some people have got issues, and they act how they act because of the way they've been treated. And I understand Sharon. I know she does use me as a punch bag sometimes, but I like Sharon. She's a nice girl. Not a nice girl like that. She's just a nice girl. Lily, I'm talking to my friends. Stop walking up and down. I know it stresses you out. Did you know that my dog actually gets stressed out when people shout on here? When I go on a live and I either interact or I just watch and they're shouting and screaming, my dog actually gets quite nervous. That's all right, Anonymous. I don't know what you're saying, but I've had arguments with Sharon before, and I do understand Sharon, and I do feel sorry for her because there's some horrible people on here. Excuse me, caught my breath there. My dog's just let one go. See what happens though? As soon as I go on the internet and I start talking, she gets all digi, pacing up and down. Lily, you go out in a minute. She didn't want to go out a little while ago, and now all of a sudden it's like I need to go out. Don't you pick on the cat? The dog's a bit tense at the moment, Tom. You've got to be careful where you tread, because she'll go for you. How can I hear you? You've got to be on my panel for me to hear you. I've got to invite you in on the panel. There ain't no rules. You just got to get the questions right. Hi, Maria. How you doing? Yeah, Lily's a little cow. She's been quite poorly actually. She's not too bad today, but she's been quite poorly. She wouldn't get up and go out. The only thing she would do was eat her dinner and have a shit, really. So I know she's all right, but she was a bit under the weather yesterday. She woke up today a bit under the weather, but she's chirped up during the day. She must have some sort of doggy thing going on. Lily, I'm not letting you out. You have to wait. She's really annoying me. She's just standing there staring at the door. Yeah, I'm good, Marie. Marie. I keep getting your name wrong, don't I? It's Marie, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I had to go and help a friend today. She had loads of water in her boat under the floor. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. You don't want that in a boat, do you? Water under the floor. I think I'm going to have to let my dog out. Oh, this is so annoying. I'd rather let her out now, though, before the quiz than halfway through it. I hope you've got your clever heads on tonight, because I'm going to pick a really hard quiz. In fact, I might not even do a quiz. I might do something different. Yeah, because everyone's doing quizzes now. What's that all about? Everywhere I go, someone's got a quiz lined up. They don't realise how boring they are for the person that's actually doing it, though. They are boring, but the interaction with the chat's funny. Yeah. Oh, she's gone right to the door. She's even pushed the kitchen door open. She don't normally do that. I'm gonna have to go, guys, and let her out. Give me 2 minutes. I'll make it up to you. I'll be back in a sec. Come on in here. Bloody hell, she's doing her best to hang around the biscuit cupboard, but I ignored it all. Ooh. Oh dear, bloody cold out there. It's not that many stars out, but the moon's out. Looks lovely and bright. Isn't it amazing when you think about it, right? The sun is millions of miles around the other side of the earth, millions of miles, and it goes past the earth, hits the moon, and then shines back onto our planet. That's amazing, isn't it? When you think, like, it's not even a mirror, is it? That shows you how intense that light is to come back at us like that. Yeah. Join you on what group? What are you talking about, Francesca? You can come on the panel if you want, but there's no point in coming on the panel. Oh, my dog dropped something. Lily, just stop farting. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, that's a wrong one, that one. My poor nose. Can't wait to get it smaller. I think I'm going to go in for a smaller nose. Ooh, that's a bit wrong, isn't it? Right, let's get my iPad then. I'll have a little research through my iPad and see what we can find. Come on, hurry up. Right. Being as Christmas has just gone, right? We're gonna do, if I can find it. It should be it. Right, hang on. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bear with me, people. I like to do my research when I'm online. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, all you do is accept cookies all the time. Oh, hang on. I don't know if I'm on the right thing. Oh, right. Yeah, this will do. Right, we're going to do 10 things you didn't know about Christmas. But we probably all do, but we might not. Right, okay. Whether it's tucking into a delicious mince pie or puckering up under the mistletoe, at some point this Christmas season many of us will embrace the numerous traditions related to this time of the year. But where do these age-old customs and familiar images come from, and which is your favourite? Right, let's have a look at number 1. Oh, bloody, I didn't realise I had to read a lot. Shit, this is going to get awkward. Hi, 1000, A1000. Did I see someone right? Katie. Oh, okay. I'll ignore that. I don't want to start working things out. Right. There is no mention of December the 26th, December the 25th anywhere in the Bible. In fact, there is no mention of when Jesus was born at all. There was much debate amongst early Christians, and it wasn't until the 4th century AD in the Roman Empire that Jesus' birthday was celebrated on December the 25th. The most popular theory as to why this date was settled on is that it was borrowed from pagan traditions that already acquired on that day. Did that make sense to anyone? My reading's terrible, isn't it? It's like I get stuck on like and the and things like that, but I just don't get it. I don't know how my brain works. It's a bit weird. Multiple theories abound as to how this bank holiday received its name. The most popular theory suggests it was traditionally a day when servants had the day off to visit their families. Their employees would send them home with Christmas boxes containing money, gifts, or food to thank them for their reliable services throughout the past year. There you go. Christmas tree have pagan roots. During the time of this is boring, isn't it? I'm going to do a quiz. Right, let's come out of that. Who gives a fuck about Christmas anyway? It's for children. The children are grown up. Try to get away from Christmas. Right. Let's go back into that. Yes. Get rid of that. Oh, what's that? No. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, excuse me. Right. Okay. All right, we're going to do a quiz on countries with answers. So if your geography's bad, join the club. Right, where are we? Right. Didn't take long to sort that out, did it? What's happened here? What's gone wrong here? Right, okay. Well, that means I've got to go a long way down to get the answers. Right, okay. Right, are we ready for this shit or what? Are you ready for this shit or what? With the nation deep into yet another lockdown, internet pub quizzes has become fashionable once again, with friends and families around the country taking the likes of Zoom, Google, Hangouts, whatever, blah blah, it's all bollocks. I can't bother to read that. Right, question 1. What country has the longest coastline in the world? A. What country has the longest coastline in the world? Sure, I had that question the other day. I'm going to give it a minute because I know that there's a lag between YouTube and StreamYard. Hi, Emily. Oh, oh, Emily. Emily. Can you stop chatting amongst each other and answer the fucking question? I'm not just a pretty face. Yeah, well, I'll do another one after. If this one gets boring, and then I'll do a different one. We'll do a kids one. We got on really well with the kids one last time, didn't we? We've got a couple of answers for Australia. You would have thought that, wouldn't you? But it's actually Canada. Canada. You learn something every day. What is the capital of Malta? What is the capital of Malta? What is the capital of Malta? You learnt your lesson, have you, Marie? What is the capital of Malta? Yeah, but this is only the second question. Chinian. Oh, we're getting answers coming through now. Emily got that right. It's Valletta. It's Valletta. Well done, Emily. You're in the lead. You're actually in the lead. What country is the newest in the world to be recognised by the UN? What country is the newest in the world to be recognised by the UN? Eh? Didn't expect that question, did you? God, I didn't even know that that was the answer. Well, I don't know what the answer is anyway, but I wouldn't have thought it was that. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? Right, what was that question again? Dear, where's it gone? Come on, hurry up. See, my iPad's a bit slow. You have to bear with me. It's catching up with me. Come on. Where's it gone? Right, okay. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Right. Oh my God, what's happened there? It's cut me off. Fuck. Excuse my French. Why did that do that? Oh, we're back. Right, okay. All right, what was the question? What country is the newest in the world to be recognised by the UN? No, it's not desperate. It's South Sudan in 2011. Have you? Oh, we've all had them at one point. A1000. Welcome to the real world. Right. Number 4. You're not doing very well at the moment, people. Where is it? Number 4. Number 4. In which UK city would you find the River Clyde? In which UK city would you find the River Clyde? Yeah, you tell him, Marie. Anyone else want to have a guess? Or does anyone know this is a fact? Well, we've got 2 people that got that right. It was A1000 and Marie. It was Glasgow. Oh, are you cheating? Oh, I don't know what to do with cheats. All right, what are we looking at? Number 5. Number 5. All right, see, we're flying along now. We're on number 5 already. What is the oldest recorded town in the UK? What is the oldest recorded town in the UK? I do know this because this was definitely in a quiz. Mm, mm. Oh dear. What is the oldest recorded town in the UK? Believe it or not, it's Colchester. Crazy, isn't it? Colchester. I'd never have thought that. Well, until last time when it come up. You have to bear with me a little while because sometimes it takes a long time for because I have to flick up and down through the screen because you get all the questions and then the answers are at the end. So I have to go in between. Well, you know the score. It's not easy being me. Right. If you travelled to the city of Volgograd, Grad, Volgograd, Volgograd, never even fucking heard of it. Which country would be in? Even that don't make sense. If you travelled to the city of Volgograd, Volgograd, which country would be in? That doesn't even make sense, does it? Country would be in. Which country would be in? Sitting there getting in a trance with that. Can't even talk proper. Proper. Can't even talk proper, can I? I'm going to spell that word. Volgograd. Volgograd. Which country would be in? What question was that anyway? That was 6. Let's see what the answer is, because I don't even understand the question. Oh, okay. Anyone up for an answer on that one? Emily's gone for Austria. Marie's gone for Slim Shady. It's A1, Marie. A1000. It's annoying, isn't it, when you get a troll? Anyway, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, that Volgograd. It's Russia. It's Russia. Oh dear. Okay, where are we? What are we? Okay, right. Question 7. What is the name of the largest river to flow through Paris? I didn't answer that question. The question's just there. Which is the name of the largest river to flow through Paris? Ah, you don't have to go. Right, what was that question again? Question 7, wasn't it? Where are you? Who are you? What is the name of the largest river to flow through Paris? It's the River Seine. Spelled Seine. River Seine. Oh God, my bloody iPad's gone off again. Why is it doing that? I've got loads of power. The moon looks lovely tonight, people. Yeah. Right. What is this? What did Ceylon change its name to in 1972? What did Ceylon change its name to in 1972. Mm? Is my friend Francesca still here? Double jeopardy on here, isn't it? Everyone's getting clones. Yeah, don't worry about it, A1000. We see some of the enemies I've had in the past. What is it? Why do you don't talk about farting with grub grub? I don't make sense, that, Maria. Oh, there's a lot of fakeness going on. That's the way to be. Right. Oh yeah, it's number 8, wasn't it? Right. Right, let's try again, people. 8. What did Ceylon change its name to in 1972? Hmm? Was it Sri Lanka? I think it was Sri Lanka. Right. What is the most populous city in the US state of Illinois? Illinois. That's really weird, isn't it? When they use a capital I at the beginning of a sentence and it looks like an L. It's weird, isn't it? It's like when you say oh. Yeah. Anyway, what is the most populous? Why don't they say popular? Populous. What is the most populous city in the US state of Illinois? Illinois. Number 9. Let's have a look at the answer to that fucker. Anyone know? You ain't got a clue. Oh, well, who's that? Who's that you're talking about, then, Maria? About Grobnob? Grubnob? He's just a waste of space, isn't he? Really, the pop noodle man who likes Jimmy Savile. Oh, you having a Chinese? Oh, that's annoying. I love Chinese. Yeah, he is a grub. You're right. He's quite a vile person, really. Yeah, none of us have, Marie. But you're winning at the moment. So what did that say about us? We could call you Eminem, Marie. A-N-A-N M&M's. Anyway, I forgot what we was doing now. What question was that? Number 9, wasn't it? Was it number 9? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. No one's answered any questions yet. Well, Maria's answered one. A1000's answered one or two. What is the most populous city in the US state of Illinois? Let's have a little look. Chicago. It's Chicago. As it happens, we should have a clone of everyone on here, innit? And then I'll get double the viewings. If everyone come on here with a clone, I'd be doing all right, wouldn't I? Bring your clones with you. Everybody bring your clones with you. Right, question 10. Question number 10. What is the highest mountain in Britain? Wow, we've got mountains, have we? I thought there was hills. That'd be interesting. What is the highest mountain in Britain? Yeah. I must be losing my marbles because I didn't even know that was in this country. I've obviously lost some education somewhere because I know about this stuff. I feel like I've deleted it from my memory. Anyone know? What's the highest mountain in it here, over here in Britain? You know. What is the highest mountain in Britain? Yeah, Marie and A1000 got that right. It's Ben Nevis. For some unknown reason, I didn't think that was in this country. My intelligence has cross-wired somewhere along the line, and it's gone. The world's first national park was established in 1872. In which country? A bonus point for the name of the park. Oh, I bet I know this and all. The world's first national park was established in 1872. In which country? A bonus point for the name of the park. That is number 11. Number 11. Oh my God, I got it as well. I got both of them. I need 2 points. I need to be given 2 points. It's a famous park. Yeah, but I'm not very clever and I got this one right. I'm well chuffed with myself. I might apply to go on Mastermind or something. Anyone want to take a stab in the dark before I give you the answer? Oh God, you done a big poo? Did it have peanuts in it, Marie? They're the worst ones, aren't they? It's the USA, Yellowstone. So you're all sitting there going, "Oh yeah." What is that an actual thing? Freddy's vid mastermind. I'll have to look for him. Ain't clever a word? Clever. Okay, let's go for another one. Oh, I've lost the plot now. What is it, about 12 or something? Wasn't it 11, 12? Oh, right, okay. Number 12. What is the capital of Peru? What is the capital of Peru? What is the capital of Peru? What's a teddy bear? What's a teddy bear? I don't even know what you're talking about. I've lost the plot somewhere. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, God, Marie. Are you female? You're not talking like a female. Had loads of peanuts in it. Oh, God. Poor you. Get the Vaseline out. Oh, the bloody computer's gone off again. Stop, keep going off. It's lucky it goes straight back to the page. Now, am I on a question or an answer now? I can't remember. What is the highest mountain? No. What is the capital of Peru? Yeah, that was the question, wasn't it? What is the capital of Peru? Let me just mute up because I've got to go to the loo. I'll be back in 2 secs. Okay, I'm back in the room. Did anyone have the answer to that one? What was it? What was the capital of Peru, wasn't it? Yeah. What was the capital of Peru? And it's Lima. 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 It seems like it should be Lima to me. Right. We've got that one out of the one. Is anyone following the saga at the moment with Brian Earl and PD? Anyone know what's going on in that situation? Right, yes. I seem to be losing track here. What was the question? Oh, right, here we've got a question, haven't we? Man, oh gosh, what's that say? Vesuvius. Mount Vesuvius casts a shadow over which modern Italian city? Is anyone getting bored with this? Because it is a bit boring, isn't it? I'm gonna go for a different quiz. Right. You all won that one. Well done. Mind you, I've got 2 points for one question. So I'm probably the winner, really. Does anyone want to come on the panel? Why don't someone come on the panel and have a chat? Yeah, I could put my finger up there, can't I? Forgot to do that. Is that it? Invite. I think that's it. No. Oh God, what did I just do there? Right. Right, hang on a sec. Let me just find the. Oh God, it's so annoying, isn't it? When you try and do something. It's like some people do this stuff so easy. Ah, here we go. Where's the 3 dots gone? Oh, get out of here. Hang on, bear with me, people. I'm going to get this up there. No one will probably come on, but I'm going to get it up there. Copy. Paste. Yes. Is that it? There's the link if you want to come on. Because I was a bit fed up with that quiz. It'd be nice to have a chat with someone, though, wouldn't it? Right, let me find another quiz. Let me find something to stimulate my audience. Do-be-do-do-do-do. Yeah, just press the link if you want to come on. I don't bite. Despite what people say, I just defend myself. Right, yeah, come on. Clear the air. Is there some air that needs clearing? Right, here we go. What sort of creature is a dingo? Oh, we've got someone coming on. How do I let them on? Shit. Bear with me. Oh, I have to press that and that. That and what? That and D. Is that right? Are you me, you idiot? Oh, here we go. Hello?
Hey, Paris, it's Katie.
Hi, Katie. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I think it would
Good.
be. Thank you for letting
Pardon?
me call. Thank you for letting me call in. I think it would be good for us to try and. I just feel we were battled against each other last year, and with it
Yes.
being 2022, I don't want to have any issue, any upset. I don't feel that you're part or the same nature as what I've been told.
Oh, God, I remember you now. Yeah, I remember that sweet little voice.
Bless. Yeah. So I don't want the conflict. I did get a bit, you know,
Yeah, I was a bit
upset
of an
last year.
arsehole, actually, wasn't I, to be honest with you? But I was in the middle of being an arsehole with everyone that was attacking me. You
That's
don't
what
know
I
who your
recognise.
friends are in the end.
That's what I recognise. I don't put you in the same bracket as the group. I just feel that to clear the air. I think you as a character, you hold your own. You've got
Oh,
your own. You've had, whatever's gone on with the other charity or group. I don't really understand that, but some hurt or some upset that you've had, that's prior to me. But for me personally, I don't have a direct issue with you, and I wouldn't want you to feel that way or be upset. I'm
no,
just aware that last year
no, because I
I
thought
feel
for
you.
a while that you was Matt Taylor. Because
No, no, yeah.
yeah, I know. I know now, but I did think for a while that you was Matt Taylor because he's just, well, it's just not even worth talking
I
about
felt
him.
you were, like when we can have people around us, but sometimes people can influence us that is not in our own best interest. And we think that they are, we think that they're friends. And I just
Yeah,
feel that it's not to try and slag off others. I don't want to bring up names, but the one that's trolled
right.
me, I just feel that it's the same process and that can influence you when you've been upset by other stuff to do with Matt, that whatever issue you've got with him outside of that, that fuels it. And
Yeah.
for
I'm
me,
not
it's a
even
totally
bothered about
different
him
thing.
now, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
so it's not, I don't put you in the same bracket as Matt or anybody else. I just, Matt is totally different. I don't know him on a, you know,
Yeah,
um, friends. I don't, I'm learning still. I'm getting to know people or speak. But same as I
yeah.
stand up for myself, as you do the
Well,
same. And
some people are just best avoiding rather than getting to know because
yeah,
some people on here do come across as nice, but when you cross them, because I can't listen to the bullshit, I have to call it out. That's when you see the bad side of them.
that's what I'm saying. It's about standing up, speaking out. You can be nice, but then when there's people, the kindness and weakness, you can defend yourself. But when you're defending yourself, people don't like it, and then you
Yeah,
can become the, it's best sometimes, as you say, just avoid people, not even entertain that
yeah.
with your own self. Do what
But
you've
but
got to do.
sometimes but sometimes when you've built up a certain rapport with people and then you leave it and then you go back, that's when you have your best time because you've detached yourself from them, you know what they are, and just going in there with a little hand grenade and then leaving is a blessing. It kind of turns it all around.
It's all learning, isn't it? And the main
Yeah.
thing we've got to do is make sure that
Yeah,
ourselves are safe.
Maria's right though. Maria's right. Paranoia. I can't believe. I mean, you see it unfold in your front of your eyes. I mean, especially with all this porn bombing, what's going on at the moment as well. There's
Yeah.
women on there that I've respected that have got their tits out just to get someone a strike.
Oh,
How slaggish is that? I don't care who
no,
you
that's
think
not.
you are. You get your tits out on someone's live just to get them a strike. You're a dirty slag.
That, that's not cool.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's not.
that's
There's
just
another
that's
issue with
just
the.
desperate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not something.
But let's face
Uh,
it, some of these people that have got their tits out, I understand why they're desperate. I
But
understand why they're getting their boobs out on YouTube, because if they'd done that in real life, people would go, "What the fuck? Put them away."
uh,
I've
I
given
don't
the
know,
dog.
like that. It's a different world to me, like I wouldn't imagine myself doing it. I've seen, if others can do it, I'm not. But
Yeah.
it's another world to me. Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they? If they're brazen enough to do that, then maybe make up, OnlyFans or something, whatever it is that.
Well,
Why
they
just
should get a life, to be honest with you, Katie, because
yeah
it's like they come on here every night. It's like I went on Rodney's last night. I stomach people for a little while and then I'll go, because I like to see. The thing is, now I know all the characters. I look at YouTube as my soap of the evening, because I know everyone that I in the groups that I go in. I tend to have more fun because I
that
know them and I see what they're doing and I know what winds them up.
yeah you've got a bit. I think yesterday, I think it's twice I've tried to comment in Rodney's channel, and yesterday I saw Brian Ho was in there, and I wanted to ask him a question because he's lied about the situation
Well, what
when
do
I
you
went
want to
to.
know? Because everyone knows everything about
So
Brian. Oh, I might be able to answer it for him.
this is more to do with Chrissy Morris and the involvement with my sister. So it's more on a personal level. But then what I
Oh,
didn't
right.
is I was communicating on Freddie's channel, and then I
Yeah.
saw that there was a video done by Trouser Mouse with PD saying that I've been raped by Asian gangs. I've never ever said that. It's disgusting. I don't know why that's been cropped, but there was a clone of me in Rodney K's channel. I don't know who Rodney K is. I wouldn't be going on there telling my story. I'm currently at the situation that there's court processes. I won't be going on anybody's channel to be talking about my story.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
nothing to do with any Asian grooming gangs. And I find it really worrying that that's been said
Well,
because
they
it
say all this
it's
stuff because it creates content, because people are
inciting hate and
desperate
incite
for
hatred.
content
Yeah, that's what I
and they
feel
don't
is that.
They don't do their research on the who's saying it, because they know there's loads of clones on here, and it's so easy to just clone someone and say the absolute wrong thing to get everyone going. But they don't. Half of them don't check. They give it all the IP stuff. Oh, we've got your IP address and all that, but
But this
no
is
one checks nothing
what
to see
does
if it's
worry
the real
me.
person.
Well, what does worry me is whether or not my IP was tracked or whatever it did happen yesterday when I clicked on the link twice to try and call in. Then they said that I was blocked. But I will state it here. I remember PD from Cody Lachey's channel, and that kind of nefarious same shit was going on. If my phone has been hacked or has been tracked or anything to do with that, they're very silly because I was sitting with police yesterday morning. They're really
What do,
silly if
what,
they've done that.
what do you think of PD without putting yourself in it?
I didn't really communicate with PD too much on Cody's show. All I know is
Mm.
I've donated £50 or so to Cody's show. All that stuff came out, and I went on there to talk about Sean Atwood, what he was doing to Cali and the children in need. Nothing to do with my.
That was all acting, all that Callie Diamond shit and Sean Atwood, wasn't it? It was all.
I'm yet to speak on that
It
because
was
the
a
stuff.
big show, because you will never get your group grow when you're talking sensible and you're
There's
boring.
something
If you
there's something.
argue and pull loads of names out, people flock to it.
Yeah, he was already up in July trying to do this situation with. Anyway,
Well, did you?
I'm yet to speak on
Did,
a lot
sorry
of.
to. Sorry, you can't carry on. I'm fucking terrible, aren't I? I'm worse than Rodney. Oh no, I keep
I'm
interrupting.
mutting, I'm mutting Jeff over the time, I'm trying to hear, and I feel I keep talking over you when you're talking because I've got to have it on loudspeaker when I'm listening.
All right.
So I
Well,
I
did
don't
you
wait.
know what the latest thing's going on with PD at the moment?
No, I find it really strange that he's over talking on Wendy, or is it Wendy that was, yeah, Wendy.
Well,
I'm sure
To
she
be
was the
honest with
lady
you,
to do with
they're all
Brian.
hypocrites because he's on. He was on. He was on Rodney's last night, right? And he's having a big to do with Esau, right? He's giving it all the large gangster stuff like they do, all these dog breeders.
Yeah,
No offense, PD. And he's having a massive argument with Esau and he's offering him out like the gangsters they are, all these gangsters on here, they
that's what
make
they
me
were
fucking
doing on
die.
Cody show.
And
Yeah,
he bought a ticket last night online to come over here to fight Esau. And if he can't find Esau, he's looking for Brian Hurl. Now he's over here at the moment, apparently, because he bought the ticket. Someone said that he's bought it, apparently. I didn't see the ticket, but I don't care if he's here or not. But he's over here to smash Esau's face in, or if he can't find Esau, he's going to go and smash Brian Hall's face in. Now,
but
to me,
that was
I
the
think that's
same
fucking
stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm stay it here. It's the same stuff that was going on that Cody's channel. I only started speaking up on YouTube on 16th of October 2020, and mainly
Yeah,
as in going out or talking on anybody's channel. And Cody was doing his podcast. All of a sudden, the friendship with PD and Tails, and PD's offering to give Cody one of these dogs. And look, there's a lot to that I'm seeing repetitive of what I've just witnessed yesterday.
yeah.
So for that reason, I
I'll,
won't ever be going on Rodney's channel. I don't know the man. I don't know the people on there. I
I
only
keep
recognise
asking
Cody.
Rodney for a spanner. I don't know why he won't give me a spanner. Just because I called him a cunt, he's like gone all funny on me.
Yeah, I've heard a video of him say I've stuck my finger up, but that's not me. I don't know what's gone on yesterday,
Yeah.
but it's not me. I don't
He's
know
just,
who it is.
the trouble with Rodney. It's like I made a comment on his show the other week, right? And I said, Rodney, you could have a really good show here because because all the wrong ones go there, and he could be calling them out, showing people what they are. Because
I
that's what
think he
I
can.
like to do. When I got a wrong un, I like to let them attack me to show other people what they're actually like.
Well,
Because
yeah,
the
yeah.
first thing they go for is my gender. And then if they don't go for that, they're going for my family. So it's fucking ridiculous. And they're
That's
supposed to be
they
nice
go for
people. If you was a nice person and an horrible person come up to you, you would just get rid of them, wouldn't you?
If
I mean,
anyone
I could
listens to
say
that
that.
video that Trouser Mouse thinks is funny to leave up, you've got.
Pardon?
If anybody hears that video that Trouser Mouse has found funny to leave up of what PD has said, first of all, you've got. It was 18 months ago. No, it wasn't. It was October 2020 that, the next line is it's raped by Asian grooming gangs. I don't know what promotion that's for, if that's to do with this Telford thing coming up, but that's a complete lie. And
Yeah,
then you've got somebody in that chat, I don't know who says it, but somebody says, how many up you? The graphicness of what is coming out of these people's mouths
yeah,
at the same time whilst mocking, but survivors of abuse. I mean, I don't
I
play
know.
victim on being a survivor, because to get to survivor state it takes a long time. But when
Yeah,
people try to think that they can tell people that you're going on to tell your story, set up something, there's clones in the chat, it's all a setup. The only thing that happened yesterday was PD came over to my channel, left a comment, said that Rodney's now unblocked you so you can come over and tell your story. I don't know how that changed from me asking or wanting to ask Brian Ho a question to them thinking I'm going to tell my story. People need to be very careful telling their stories online, very careful on how
100%.
they're being manipulated, and vulnerable people, because emotions run high. We think that people care, and a lot of people don't give a shit. It's drama. As you say, it's entertainment for a lot of people. We all have our moments, but they try
Yeah.
to attack what they know will hurt you. So they'll
Well,
come
that's
at
the
you
thing. I mean,
with
like, I've
you very
told
badly.
everyone about my gender, why I've been online. My transition has been unfolding as I'm online. So I've been talking to people about what I'm going through and stuff like that. And I can't believe when they turn on me how nasty and how twisted they get everything.
But it's a projection of them. If you remember,
Yeah,
it's not you. It's a
yeah.
projection of them. So
It's like
I'm still
it's like
trying to learn.
tonight. It's like tonight. I was looking in Real Show, right? There's a lot of people on there that are sheep, right? I don't go on Reels at all, but I found Rodney really boring, so I thought I'll go over to Real, the second most boring person on the internet. And a lot of the people in there was backing the person up that was saying stuff about me, but yet in Reels group, they was doing exactly, well, in fact, they was doing worse than what I'd done, because I offered someone £10 if, because there was supposed to be a fight between two guys, right? This has been going on for a while. They're both a pair of wankers. I'd like to put that out there. Seven and Sean, you're both a pair of wankers. They was going at each other like hammer and tong, right? They do it all the time. So I'm calling the coward out now, right? So Sean's getting in his car to go and meet Seven. Seven's giving it all the mouth like he does. He's got nothing but hot air. And Sean went round Seven's house, bibbed outside his house, and then drove off. Yeah, all right, a little bit cowardly, right? But I said, Sean, because they're supposed to meet up in the park, I said, Sean, if you take a picture of you in the park, I'll give you a tenner, right? So he's done that, right? I sent him 15 quid, right? Because the reason I sent him 15 quid, because he went round Seven's ass as well, which was a bonus, right? And then to me, it proved that Seven was the coward. And then the Wasp. Okay, I've made my peace with the Wasp at the moment. Yes, let's hope it holds there. He's calling me out, saying that I'm inciting violence when all I offered was £10 to take a photo to prove that he was in the park. But yet, when I went on Reels tonight, every one of his little sheep are all in there. Yeah, go on, get in there, PD, this, PD. That to me is inciting violence, but I bet
Yeah.
not one of them will get pulled up on that.
Well, the video, the crop that what's been said is inciting violence, especially what's being said and fabricated about Asian gangs.
Exactly.
They're
But
using your
all
gender.
I done was say, take a photo to prove you're in the park, and I'll send you a tenner. And he
I
did.
personally wouldn't do it, but I don't know. I don't know who
No.
you're talking about. I've got offended by somebody, a female last year, threatening to come to my home. But at the same time, it wouldn't stop me. The thing is I wouldn't keep my door closed. I would open my door. So it's not a
Yeah.
worry
Yeah,
with
but how
that
many
one. It's
people
a
do
case
you
of,
actually know that turns up?
that's what I mean. These are people on the internet. If they push that barrier and turn up, I would hope that whoever's the persons that they've turned up has the capacity or the, the know-how to call the police.
Yeah, but to be
There's
honest with you,
desperate
Kate, I'm not
services
being
if they
funny,
felt
right?
something
But
safe.
I honestly believe a lot of people on here provoke people just so they can go to court and get compensation. They don't care if they get
They are
beaten up.
doing that. That is what is
Yeah.
going on.
And that's
That is
what
what
this
I've been trying
internet is
to.
all about. It's
That is what
about
is going
tricking
on.
someone and
Yeah,
getting money out of them.
yeah. So then they can make a claim through the SECO, the criminal injuries
Yeah.
compensation things. Yes,
I
that
had to
that
go to court.
there is something going on
Yeah.
whereby people are being set up.
Well,
Laws
it's
being
like
used
a load
against
of
them.
Ponzi's that don't want to go work but want a big payout. So they'll come on
But
here and roll people up and get them to say stuff where they can take them to court. I mean, I ended up in court.
well, that's the thing. This is the issue is that it's becoming a point where I worry a lot of the police time and courts time things are being wasted. But then at the same time, there are genuine cases, but there are people out there that are just taking cases because for the fun, they want compensate, they want something out of it,
Yeah, yeah,
and but they're not giving much back to society. But they've got the know-how and the ability to know how to use the law as a tool. And with over 60 something thousand acts of parliament, they sit there and they sit and goad people, especially online, especially psychologically. And that's what
yeah.
I've especially seen in the last year. and it's affected. You know, for somebody to go out of their way and just to, it's somebody as a whole. You know, people can make mistakes, but as a whole, some people have done this as a job for over 10 years, especially
Oh
this
yes,
gang. They've been in there,
100%,
but they have people
100%.
paying them to do it.
No.
So this
Give,
is,
give me one, Kate. Give me 1 second. I'm going to start my engine up for 10 minutes because my battery's going flat on my laptop, and I need to start the engine up to create some electricity. So give me a sec because I've only got 10 minutes before I can turn it off. So I'll just go and start my engine up.
I think maybe I can see the, oh,
God, I hope my neighbours ain't annoyed. You're supposed to turn it off at 10. I've got 10 minutes, but we've got
uh,
some really weird names in the chat. What's that all about? Is everyone scared? They're hiding.
I've just pressed the comments. I've only just seen there's some comments. I can't really see it because it's on my phone. It goes onto a different screen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's just really to make sure that there's a. I don't like conflict. If there's no need to be having any conflict with people, then there's no need. You know, there's no.
Would you? Do you know what? When I first come on here, right, I was all polite and pleasant. I worried about answering or asking a question when I was in a group and all that. But now look at me. They've
That's what
turned
I
me
mean.
into a monster.
This is where, well, not so much. It's a learning thing, and now you can do your own lives, and you're on your own channel. You can control it yourself, and nobody can then influence or control you because you start to worry about if you're going to upset somebody or offend them, or you don't know how to be yourself in something you don't understand. But when you come
Yeah.
to understand it, like yourself now, it's you can do it on your own channel. It's good to hear you on your own channel doing it, because when you're around other people, it all becomes all mixed up. There's so many voices all going off at once.
I know.
When you
I
do
always,
your
I
own,
always seem, I always seem to have an issue with the leaders rather than the sheep that are in the group.
well, it's the issue of how anyone being or trying to be the leader. If everybody tried to be on the same plane, equal,
Yeah.
then it might, the hierarchy, status, and the egos and everything else. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of pride for
Cunty
people.
boils, right? I am a bit gullible. It's because the reason I'm so gullible, right, is because I've always dealt with life, people, the real world. I've only been on the internet for the last 5 years,
That's the thing.
and,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's all been shit, absolute shit. I had my Facebook, which didn't have a lot in it. There wasn't no much communication. I might have talked to my family now and then. Now the whole lot's a fucking mess. My
It's
Facebook was going
yeah.
to be my transition experience, but it's ended up with loads of arseholes.
This this what I
It's
mean.
like
It's
you've got
when you're learning
grown
about
men
yourself.
going in there, nicking my pictures and thinking it's all right to do that. Why would
Yeah,
you nick my pictures and make a video of me just because I've called you a cunt? I haven't
yeah.
gone into their fucking Facebook and took all their pictures and made a video of them. It just goes to show the level that some people go to because they're arseholes.
If it's the way that the intrusive going into all your private and personal stuff, and then making out it's public, and then but they're showing people how to get to it or see it. Or
Yeah.
for me, it's it.
Well, I had to close my Facebook down because I didn't want it ruined.
That's the thing. From January 2017 or so, I've been shutting down a lot,
Yeah.
and it's kind
But
of
the, the,
like,
the weird thing I find about this internet, though, Katie, you can be someone's friend for months, and then you could fall out with them for months, and then you could be friends again with them. They're not real people.
yeah, yeah, the internet is same with it. I'm not great with technology. It's moved very quick.
Yeah. It's
Technology.
like
It
I've
took many
I've
years.
I've I've called people outright that have slaughtered people that I like, and then it's all gone wonky, and then it turns out the person you was protecting's against you, and they're friends with the other person again. And it's like, you can't fucking win on here. Is it
It,
worth
it
saying
can be
anything?
seen, it can be seen like that, but as long as you can trust yourself, I think that's the main thing. Anybody
Yeah,
else,
but
it takes
sometimes I say
years
things
for
I don't mean.
yeah, but it takes years for friendships. It takes years for any kind of relationship. That's what they say about the ships, aren't they? They're designed to take you somewhere. Relationships, friendships, and if they're not,
Yeah.
they're designed. You live on a boat.
I thought ships was a lot to do with the birth of a
The
child,
ship is our body, isn't it? And
because
inside is the
you
water.
got the birth canal, the canal. You know what I
But
mean? You got,
yeah, the BERTH, the
it's
birthing.
like there's loads and loads of words involved in maritime that's to do with the birth.
It's because we live in double speak. There's a
Yeah,
video on the internet. The double speak is this. A lot of people try to, this free man on the land stuff. Is a lot of that is a bit, dash of
yeah,
truth, dash of lies, dash of this. But unless people do their own homework,
yeah.
it can
It's
be
like
really, really.
capital and small
Well, you've
writing.
got different
It's
laws and different jurisdictions. So you have
yeah.
civil law, you have criminal law, you have family law. So you have all different laws, and that's where
YouTube
people
said
get it muddled up.
it's only YouTube said it's like the Wild West. Unfortunately, it is
Yeah,
though,
the
isn't it?
Wild West.
It's like
Yeah,
we've done a lot of gunslinging.
yeah. That's the Wicked Wild song, Wild West song. The Will
Good, the
Smith
bad, and the
song.
ugly. That suits
Yeah,
the internet.
it,
Yeah, the good, the
it
bad,
can
and the
get deep,
ugly.
but it is learning. It's still I'm learning. It
Yeah,
is still new
it's
for
a
me.
shame because there are people out there that do need the internet that have got no one.
This is the discussion I'm actually in with professionals. It's not okay for these people to do what they're doing and
No.
continue to isolate those who are already isolated, are not in
Yeah,
communication, and see this as a way of trying to learn to heal again and try to learn to socialize again and do those things. But all of a sudden, it seems to get stopped by the trolling, the bully, the things that go on. And
yeah,
that does have an effect, but it shouldn't be a point where people keep saying about mental health, and the mental health is being created when they're harming the other person. But in all sense, it should be a platform for anybody to be able to express themselves, be themselves without fear of
yeah,
intimidation, violence, upset, threat.
yeah. It's never going to
And
happen
it's
on
about,
there. I
yeah,
mean,
it's not about,
when you think about it, right? All the aggro that people cause on the internet, there's loads of people around that earn money from it.
yeah, that's the main insensitive for why a lot of
Yeah,
them are doing what they're doing, is
because
the insensitive of money.
if you're one of these people that come on the internet and you cause a lot of aggro and you're always grumpy or whatever, someone can just take that content and show it on their show and get loads of views through it, through
That's what I
someone
feel
else's
like they're
content. And it's like,
doing. Yeah.
it's fucking
They,
nuts, isn't it?
yeah, they could. The thing is for me, mine's a personal thing that's been going on for years. It's an investigation I've been looking into, but then I've been targeted because of me trying to speak on what I know. So there's a principal point for me why. But on the other side of it, I have all the video, all the things that I do want to do, which is my own work, my own stuff, which I want to get around to doing. And, it's my own things. But in the
Yeah,
middle of that, what I find is whilst I'm trying to do my own, there's all this other distraction, because by the time you've explained one thing, another video goes up saying you've done this or you've done that. Like even yesterday, another video, these Asian gang. And it's actually realizing that that's all they want to do is consume your time, have you keep
yeah.
responding. And I'm not doing all of that. The truth is the truth. But, they're always going to keep doing what they're doing. Best just to keep doing
Don't
what
give
you've
them
got
no
to do.
content because
Yeah,
that's all they want. They want content because as soon as they get you riled up, you're straight on their show with all their audience, and they're all a load of arseholes normally because that's all they go in there for.
exactly. Well,
It's like
that's
when
the thing.
you look in Rodney Kay's channel tonight. It was quite boring, right? But yesterday there was quite a few people in there. YPD was in there talking about smashing Esau's face in. But today PD's on Real show. So Rodney's got like 50 views, which I wouldn't mind myself, and Real's got 200. So they've all jumped off of Rodney's to go on to Reels just because Brian Earl's turned up and threatening PD. So PD and Brian Earl are threatening each other on Reels channel with the 200 viewers, and then Rodney decides to call it a night and shuts down.
Would it end up becoming a bit like the film Idiocracy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
it's as long as
I
there's
just
a
find them
drama.
all pathetic because that's all they're looking for. They're not looking for anything that's educational. It's like the other week, right? I come off of here for a few days. Nothing big, just a few days. But I needed something to occupy my mind. And I couldn't believe the amount of things that I was looking through because I wasn't following this argument. And I was thinking, fucking hell, if I'd done this every day, I could learn so much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we
There's
end
a,
up going back to these creeps on the internet that want to act like gangsters and call people out on
yeah.
lives.
It does get consuming. That's one thing I have noticed is that how a bit like the Facebook, the YouTube can become an addictive place where you want to
Controversy
keep
is
up with what's going
content.
on. But yeah, I don't know who this. I've seen names flowing around. I've tried to kind of
They're
keep
all
away
just a
from
bunch
that
of
side.
wankers, Katie, to be honest with you. They're just a bunch of wankers trying to get their 1,000 views so they can get monetized.
I've kept away from. I think it was it Wendy Wu's channel or something. She was having an issue with Brian Harvey, and I supported him at that time. But when I went in the live chat and made a comment, Hoof kept making out or saying that I was this Brian Ho because he had just turned up on the scene,
Who
and
was
I've
that?
kept
Hoof?
Hoof. That was the only time I'd comment that point.
Yeah,
There's
I've been
something
up
going on
against
about
Hoof. Do you know? Do you
that.
know what? That's why I fell out with Wasp because of that. Because I kept getting dug out by Hoof, and it was getting to me in the end because like people couldn't see how he was being rude without people noticing. I could tell the way he was answering me and stuff like that.
There
So
was something not
I
right
called
with
him
him.
out one day, and then his friend jumped in and stuck up for him, and then me and him went hammer and tongs. And it's like, it's got nothing to do with you. So why are you poking your nose in? And then why are you making an enemy of me as well?
Well, this is what I mean. There's reasons, and sometimes why we're speaking.
Well,
There's
this is what I said to you about earlier. Then when you make enemies and then friends, it's like this guy that I was enemies with, if you like. We're all right now. But it's
well,
really weird that we're all right now because he stuck up for someone that I called out, and now he don't like the person that I called out. So we're all right now, are we?
but the thing you've got to remind yourself: do you sit down with these people? Do you have dinner with them? Do you eat with them? Do you know them?
No,
Well,
no,
that's what I
not
mean. This is
anymore.
why you have to. Yeah, it's okay to talk, but trust takes. Well, they have the saying, trust takes years to build, seconds to lose.
I know,
And at the
but at the
same
end of the
time,
day, when you come on the internet, you don't realise how bad it is on there. You don't realise how
yeah,
toxic people are, and everyone, even me, we should all be ashamed of ourselves of how we're acting on here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I,
I've
I, I
been,
go I go off my nut when people really insult me, and it's normally always about my gender, and they know that triggers me. But everyone should be ashamed of how they're behaving on the internet. It's like I'll go in some groups and it's arguing from start to finish. Everyone's shouting at the same time. And it's like, I don't know, was that really good content? I didn't really understand none of that.
some haven't really, some of it is quite sadistic. Do you know what I mean? Some get a
I know
pleasure and
monkeys.
enjoyment out of it all. Some actually enjoy the feed or the energy or the feel that they get. So they
I just think
continue
it's
to do
funny winding people up. Hi, everyone in the chat, anyway.
it. But yeah, I don't want to keep
Yeah,
drawing,
no,
but
you're
I
cool
feel
because
like I'm dragged down and things, and I want things to be, 2022. not to be
People
a
prefer it when people are on the panel because you can have a conversation and then they can have a conversation about our conversation. It just
yeah,
makes it flow a lot better. Well, it's
it
hard
does.
when I'm just doing it on my own here because you do run out of things to say and do.
You've done well. You've done well. And like when I've tried to do lives, you know, I can't keep putting the music on. I think you've got to have a license or something for it.
Yeah, it's
But
annoying that, isn't it? You can
yeah.
put about 9 seconds on, I think.
Oh
But
well,
you
they've
know what?
totally used it
I
now.
I had a video come up today, right? I can't remember when I done the video, but it was quite a while ago, and it had a whole Rod Stewart CD in the background, and it got struck off, right, or muted. And today I got a message saying that all the oh fucking hell, what is the word they use? It's like everything that was in the in the live, they've unmuted, and I've got the video back, and it's still got Rod Stewart singing in the background, a whole album, and they've given me that back, and I find that really weird because I thought Rod Stewart would have been one of the first ones that would have had a copyright on it.
What I found is that the recent one I got was because I was playing the music video. They usually have been okay with me playing the music in the background with no video showing. But what's annoyed or where I've got the issue when they've taken it off is when I
No,
showed the
normally
video.
it's just music. Normally it's
So
just
they,
music.
yeah, so they shouldn't really have an issue with you playing it in the background. But
Well,
it's
mate,
weird, isn't
I
it?
was thinking maybe it was because I was talking all the way through it.
Yeah, because you've got your talking in it. It's now
Yeah,
you've now, as soon as anything to anything changes, any change that you've now created, you've now become, it's your
yeah.
creation.
Yeah, but I just find it a bit weird that they did strike it. I mean, that was a long time ago because there was things in there that I don't. Well, actually, there was a friend in there that I had over a year ago, probably nearly 2 years now, that I was talking to all the time in that live that I don't talk to anymore. So
Mm,
it was quite a while ago, and then they give me it back today.
wow.
It's like
Well,
what?
yeah, I mean,
It's took them a long time to get round to that one, hasn't it?
yeah, I've had the account, the YouTube from 2009, but again, I've not really, the using it, looking into it. I only started my first lives like last June, I think it was.
Oh, did you?
So it's
I
it's a
probably didn't help
learning.
then.
But yeah, it's all the technology. Once we get the hang of it and understand it, then okay. But it'd be nice if people can help each other. If
Yeah.
somebody knows how to do something on one side,
Well, so
that's the main thing.
I've always asked people on how do I use StreamYard and get on YouTube? No one else, you. No one.
Look
They
at you
don't want
now.
to give me no hints at all on how to set all this shit up. It's like I've gradually learnt my way through it,
Yeah,
and
that,
I'm still only at this stage. I can't share the screen, or well, I probably can, but I don't know if I'm going to show stuff that's in my computer
that's
on.
it.
And do you know what I mean? I don't want people to see my details, my private details, or stuff that I don't want on there.
I'm
Not that
learning
I'm a
it.
wrong un, so don't all start saying I'm a wrong un. It's just that I
Mhm.
don't want to put my share screen on and show the wrong stuff.
Well, there's a reason why we have private life. It doesn't mean because people are wrong, and it's because it's your private, personal life. You have the right to choose what you want to share. I get where it's trying to. There's things you would like to share with people, but
What's he been saying? Hang on a sec. Let me just look at this. What's Marcus been saying? I don't really want to try and block anyone because that's all I ever do.
that name I've seen in there, the Cunty Boyle, is a mock of my name, my surname.
Who's that?
So
Oh,
Cunty
Cunty Boyle.
Boyle.
Yeah,
I'm Katie Boyle.
I haven't heard that one before. Some of the names that are coming up is unreal, isn't it?
It's
Now,
because
if
I'm
someone's
Katie
really out
Boyle.
of order, I'll block them.
No,
But I
no,
don't
just
know.
at the end of the day, they're just the thing is that you realise now they're spending their time and their
Yeah,
energy. It's only when it gets bad and it's to the point that you you get worried, then okay, you know. But yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
do you
come
know
up.
what? No one
Yeah,
worries me on the internet now after being on here for the last 5 years because there's not very many people that will go and meet people. And normally the ones with the big mouths are little spotty kids sitting behind a laptop thinking it's funny.
yeah. I do prefer face to face. Over the internet is difficult. It's hard. I've met
Yeah,
people from speaking out in the 2015. I've met some great people from there, and you know, but at the same time, that was a different world because it was more face to face. This is now everything, the lockdown, everything's all over the internet, more so,
yeah,
and
yeah. A lot of,
that's for me. It's yeah, I prefer to sit and speak with people and chat and know people rather than the phone is hard, over the internet's hard.
yeah.
So
Well, the thing
it's
is, it's like face to face. You see so much more.
yeah, yeah,
When you see a
definitely.
comment, you don't know what context to take it in unless they're really good at their English. Because most
Definitely.
people ain't, and no, most people don't want to start doing dots and commas and question marks. They just want to put it out there, which
But
is
you
not a
don't
bad
have to
thing.
put all
Because
the
if you're doing it every 2 seconds, you don't want to start doing all that. Maybe that's just the way you're meant to do it. I just find it really hard myself, the
yeah,
English.
it's hard to communicate on the, especially in the writing side, but if
Yeah, there's
anyone's
no
expressing themselves,
emotion or nothing.
yeah, it's best to see the person, then you can see and you know what you, yeah, because writing, anybody can write anything and it can say one thing and totally mean a different,
Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely.
I've seen a lot of that, and yeah, I'm just, I'm not sure where the future's going, but I do feel that it's going to be a more, online world rather than an outdoor, and I'm not one for that. So, okay, the online's okay, it's great, it's good to try and socialize and things, depending on how volatile it stays, depending on the choice whether to continue to be in that environment.
Well, every
But
time I go into a group and I think it's an all right group, within months you start seeing all the wankers, and you
yeah,
think, how comes I didn't see that before?
that's it. This, yeah, it's trying to find where you sit. But this, I think if you focus on your own channel, it's good to go other places. But you have
Yeah.
character, you have something to bring to your own channel, and
Yeah. Well, it's like
you
I say,
don't.
look, because I know a lot of the characters now. It's like watching my own soap.
Yeah,
It's like I can create my own soap out of the people that come on these groups, and it's like it's fucking laughable. It's like they're sitting there dictating and telling people how they are and what a waste of space they are, but yet they're on here every night comment and slagging other people off.
well, by
Nothing
the time people,
constructive to do or say, and
a
yet
lot
they're
of,
go on, sorry.
I was going to say a lot of those things. There's a lot of things going on outside YouTube myself in drama sense. There's a lot, so I don't watch, like TV dramas anymore. But yeah, it is like watching that on
Yeah.
on YouTube, the back and forth, the hypocrisy, the things that you'd see. But then it is like you'll end up coming out with a a degree on learning on how to deal with socializing with people.
Yeah.
It's
Can you
you need
imagine
to
it if
be
we
around it.
if we dealt with people in real life how we do it on the air? It'd be like, "Oh, fuck off, you fat muppet." Can you imagine saying that to someone in someone's face? They're going, "Oh, yeah, all right, you're right," and you've heard they're a bit of a like, "Oh, fuck off, you muppet."
That's
Just
the
just
part I'm
wouldn't
finding.
work, would it?
Yeah, most that are online, they wouldn't dare talk to people like it in public. So why are
No.
they doing it online? It just, yeah. The, if you can be yourself, that's, I think, was it the transcendental movement in a world, and when it comes, no, Tesla, isn't
Yeah.
it? In a world full of conformists, they say antisocial behavior is a sign of intelligence. Not the antisocial behavior we have today, the what it is today, but the ones that you'd see as the ones that don't fit in. And if you find yourself feeling that you don't fit in, make your own world. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I've started doing in my life really, because everywhere I go I seem to cause problems.
it's it's other people's expectations as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to try and live up to everybody else's expectations when
Yeah.
you just want to do you. And that
Well, the
it's
thing
hard
is,
enough
it's
to try and
like you
get.
say, I've got more control over my own channel. If
Yeah,
someone gets too much, I just get rid of them because I don't want to go to that level with them. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather they wasn't there.
yeah. You've got a choice whether to have it in your life or not, or
Yeah.
you know.
And I mean, all these people that have had it good from me going in their groups, having a go.
Well, your time is precious. That's the thing. Time is
Well, this is
something.
what I said to people before. Why are we sitting in here? Our time is precious and we're giving it up for this shit show.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I've looked
Which is
back and
right. If you're going to be disrespectful and cunt your audience off, why are they there? But some people seem to like it. It's like you slag someone off who's in the chat, and then they'll be there all night arguing with you, and it's like, they don't want to go away. Some people love it.
oh, it fuels, doesn't it? Again,
Yeah,
it fuels. So it is.
yeah. But there's some really
I
bad
can't.
people on there.
You can pick your battles. I get fiery. I get passionate. But sometimes picking the battles, I can't sit there if I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it. I can't sit there and listen. I had to come out yesterday when all of what was going on and all this threat and that one's having a go at that one and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
Like I don't. It's chaos. I've spent a lot of time in silence and
yeah. It's like
finding them.
I keep getting called. I keep getting called out every now and then, right? Because of stuff what's happened in the past. And hang on a minute, Paris, I'm not too sure about you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I was in a group and I believed in it. That's why I was there. But now I know it's a scam and I don't believe in it and I cunt it off every opportunity I get. Can we get past this? That was
But
like
that's the
a
thing I
few
don't know
years
about.
ago when I was
I,
naiver than I am now.
but that's where we have something in common. I've got all of this stuff going about me about a court case or two court cases I attended in 2015, trying to think that I'm supporting and helping. Now I'm supposed to be, I need to be set up like John Patterson. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what they're all going on. You can get pulled into things, and that group or that charity that you're talking about, I think the one that Matt supports, I haven't looked into it. I haven't, because it's not of an interest for me. If
Oh,
it
what
is, I'll look into
The Andy Divine creep.
the group or something. So I haven't looked into it.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
not
like
of
to
an
know what
interest
happens
because
with
I gave up
PD there. God, I forgot his name now. Fuck's sake.
Patrick. Patrick?
JP,
JP. All
John
I know is
Patterson.
that it got annoying because it was Patrick that was my friend, and of course I was supporting Patrick, who was supporting John Patterson at that court trial. I tried to keep giving time to John Patterson, but he was being heavily groomed, in my belief, by the Julian at the time. And he
Yeah,
kept tagging me into the posts with this Julian that I'd reported to the police. And I got annoyed with him and I said to him, look, leave me out of it. Don't tag me in the posts. I stand alone. And then he
yeah,
said back to me, go stand on your own then. And that's it. Never spoke to John Patterson from there on. But I'd already
yeah,
been concerned at the high level of how much he was being trolled, but at the same time, he was sending so many emails. He had 2, 3 different accounts. So I'm
yeah,
not
but
sitting here trying to slag him off. I'm just saying that his
yeah,
behavior, I don't condone. I
yeah.
didn't,
But to be
I don't
fair,
know what
with
he
John
was.
Patterson, he did say a lot of wonky stuff in the past, right? But
Yeah.
he's been doing these wonky stuff for 18 years, and then he comes across Andy Divine's group, and now he's in prison indefinitely. And
But
what
that's
really
because
annoyed me about that,
the,
right, was I was actually going to go and see John Patterson and have a chat with him about how he's being gaslit by that scummy group. But
well, he
someone
said,
cancelled it. Someone cancelled my visit to the prison. But I was sending him money and everything, and they even stopped all that. They stopped the phone calls and everything, and they even put a PPO onto me to advise me. If I carry on doing what I'm doing, I'll end up in court.
Yeah, I would advise you to keep out of it all because there's a lot of people playing at hands involved in this situation, especially surrounding his incarceration, sectioning, and that's why I don't get involved with it all. And for
Yeah,
people to say that I'm in there with him and I'm in there with Sabine, no, I've got my opinion, I've got my views, I've got my story and my truth of what I've witnessed personally firsthand, not because I've been in any group. When I connected with Patrick, it was on a different level. It was a spiritual level. It wasn't a truth movement level. I don't do well in big groups. If I don't trust people, so I feel highly let down by what happened in 2016, the way that I was trolled, the way that I was hurt, upset. And you've got to imagine all of that's going on. By the May, I'm reporting it to the police. By the time it gets to June, July, my son's been taken off me. I've been set up. So this
yeah,
kind of stuff can take people down a massive rabbit hole if they're not careful, they themselves can set their own selves up, your own worst enemy.
yeah,
So we already have to deal with the fact that we've made mistakes or we've made choices or things that caused us harm or caused to even to our child. This is something that to then be continuously be trolled or be connected with this or that person, and that's not the truth. It's not okay because I don't associate with, there's things that I've explained it before. Patrick's beliefs or way he explained things sometimes, I would say it to him. It's not something if you're a friend to somebody, you don't just sit there and they're you're the type of one that would say to them if they're doing wrong or
yeah,
but at the same time, it's not okay for people to start dragging up things because they know that it will hurt you or try to upset or anything they can. And just because you've made a choice to be a part of a charity or a group and you're not now, why are they still going on about it?
yeah.
You're the one that's had
I
to make
fucked
that
them all
choice.
off because they're a waste of space. They're scammers and scum.
Well, that all I know is that even me trying to speak out 2015, they were using me as the star guest of the show, and people were getting handed money on my behalf. I don't ask for money. I don't need money from people. I don't. I don't need any of that. But what I got annoyed with is my story being used and people making money off the back of my story. And that's something I do worry about. Yesterday, that video that came up with PD, what he said, that I'm infuriated with it because it's not okay. It's further exploitation, and
Yeah.
that's something that I don't like. And you know,
He bangs on about he gets so much information come through as well with his people. He gets information from his people.
well, this just feels as a repetitive of what was going on Cody's channel, and a lot of things were going on there. And
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
difficulty.
I'm lucky in a way because I've kept my circle quite small. I mean, some of the people that I know that are wankers, they go in unbelievable amounts of groups. I can't spend that much time on the
Mm,
internet. I
can't
do
keep
two
up.
or three groups, and then one or two of them will fade out. Like literally, I go in two groups at the moment, right? One I go in because I like them, and the other one I go in there because all the arseholes hang about in there. And it gives me a better understanding of what they're up to because they're all in one place, like a load of silly little school kids in a backward school. That's what
This is
they're
the
like.
yeah.
They're like, it's like they're backward and they're talking like they're in the playground and they're going to get you at dinner time.
Yeah, yeah. There's
It's literally like that. It's pathetic, and they're adults.
it's not giving a good impression to there is youngsters online. There are, they do and will come across these things. And what must they be thinking? And I have to remind myself that, if I'm going live and yeah, it's hard, but some people have an intention to do it. But yeah, I don't know how many people know what their value of time, different groups. I can't keep up with this group, that group. I try to stick to
No,
what I know. I know
people
that
should.
you've had a history with Matt and things, but I'm only trying to get to know, especially
Yeah.
last year. And I
Do you know what?
I took my own
It's quite
choice, but
funny
I
with
do.
It's
Okay.
quite funny with Matt, really, right? Because when I was in Divine's group, Matt was kind of there in the background. I just found Matt just an annoying person. He didn't bother me one way or the other. I didn't interact with the guy, but soon as I called Andy Divine that as a scammer, a scummy scammer amongst other things, all these little dominions come after me, and one of them was Matt Taylor. And Matt Taylor's made some fucking horrible videos about me.
And that's what I'm saying. It's about conflicts of interest, issues that you have, and things. And I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm not aware of all of that, even to this case and other. All I know is this. Yeah, I've made it clear my reasons, and the more that I've seen them attack and go at him, and I have to go with what I've seen,
yeah,
and I take each people as they are, and I'm not in yours and his argument. I don't know that, so I can't give an informed opinion. I can only
yeah.
speak when when I have an opinion,
Yeah, well,
So
I mean, I don't talk to Matt. I haven't spoke to Matt for a long time. But the last thing I saw that Matt done of me was what Brian Earl put out, a video he made of me saying that I was a paedophile and all that stuff, and it was
I
fucking
did.
disgusting, really, because they nicked a photo out of my Facebook and they done like a robot voiceover. So there was no one there, just a picture and a voiceover in a robot voice
I
calling me
feel
all
like
these fucking
you've tried
names,
to.
and that was Brian Hurl. And when I went mental about that, someone told me that come from Matt Taylor's channel, and then when I went and had a look, sure enough, it come from Matt Taylor with Kaylee Diamond's Smelly Minge.
That
That's it.
Kelly Diamond Smelly Minge account is Grubnub's. He's now changed it to A. That's
That
Grubnub's account.
no
I know
way. Is it
last year.
really?
That's Grubnub or Trouser Mouse that owns that account. They've now changed it to the capital letter A and taken the name off it, but it had a picture of Kelly's face on it. I've
Someone
been
told me
taken to.
that was Matt
This is
Taylor.
what's the issue, is that Matt has been being told that he's this account, that account, and that's why I watched last year a trolling account kept going over into Sharon Gales. It wasn't Matt. And that's why I'm saying to you, I have a principle. When I see something that's wrong, it's wrong. He's being accused of things and it's not okay. And
Yeah. Well, at
that
least you've
that
put the
so
record straight
it's only
there.
it's only in recent time, I can only speak what I see. And there is an unhealthy obsession of people that they have with him. There is okay, this news story or that news story, whatever's going on, but it shouldn't be okay to have an issue with anybody and everybody that tries to interact with him. And I'm sure that actually, if you two actually interacted without everybody else, you'd resolve your own issues. But every time you two or you or anybody you'll come to a resolution point, everybody else is getting involved. So it's just you know, yeah. I'm not here
Well,
to slug
so
off this. It's just
what do you think about Matt Taylor ending up with my two phones then? Stolen off of my
um,
boat.
that's what I mean. I don't know the story. I don't know the
Yeah, but
background.
I'm telling you the story.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
had,
trying to.
I had CM on my boat for 4 weeks, looking after her for Andy Divine's group because she was homeless and had her children taken away from her. Me and her fell out after 2 weeks, but I honoured the 4 weeks. And when the 4 weeks was up, I dragged her fucking bags out of this boat and I told her to fuck off. Well, in fact, I'd give her a lift. I said, let's fuck off together and I'll drop you off.
Well, that's what I mean.
But
There's something
But
that's
weeks
clearly coming.
after, I found out that my phones were stolen, right, off of my boat. And then I saw a comment in WhatsApp to someone else. Someone had sent me this comment. It was sent in WhatsApp and it said, shush, Matt Taylor's okay. He has Paris's phones. And I didn't know nothing about it until that day. And I looked for my phones everywhere on the boat, from top to bottom, because they've got all my transgender stuff in them phones. Because they was the phones I was using when I started going through my transition.
I think
So
that
I
that's
fucking
something.
went ballistic at Matt Taylor. And Matt
Have you
Taylor had
got
the
the phone?
phones because apparently the police went round Matt Taylor's house. I don't know why. It was nothing to do with me. And they took, I believe it was a laptop and the phones. And it was the police that got in touch with me because they saw my live moaning that Matt Taylor had my phones. And they asked me if I wanted to prosecute. And I said, well, fucking damn right I do. They're my phones and
Well,
he's got them.
they're genuine police officers, though, because
Some
I
of them
have.
were, some of them were, and some of them wasn't. I know the person that's got the phone is a genuine copper, DC Manford. I know he's a genuine copper. The others, not so much. They don't
I
talk
honestly,
like
I can't.
coppers, and they was unprofessional.
And it's no thing to you or to my. I can't comment on this. What I don't know. Did you get your phones back?
No,
No.
do you
Well,
know
that's what I'm
what?
saying. It's clearly something that's upsetting you. It's clearly the recovery of those phones,
Well,
or so it would
when
be good
I
to
when
resolve.
when I phoned DC Manford up after he said that they took the phones from Matt Taylor's house, amongst other things, I asked for my phones back. This was a long time after all this
There's,
happened, and they said we can't give you them back because there's still an ongoing investigation, and they've still got them to this day because I couldn't be bothered to phone them back anymore.
well, this is something I pick up is that hearing over time. I've heard parts of what you're saying. I just haven't looked into everything. I don't. You can't.
Yeah.
Everything's
Well, I
not
just
because
find,
I can
Katie,
only
I
hear
just
it
find them
from you.
all uninteresting.
Well,
They're
there's a
all
betrayal, isn't
uninteresting.
it? That's
They
something that.
lie, and they twist the truth just enough to make it a lie, but sound like the truth. And Matt's really good at that. Matt is really good at twisting things. But at the end of the day, I ain't got a problem with Matt anymore because I don't talk to the guy. I can't
That's
stand the guy. He doesn't tell the truth. And the truth he does tell, he puts a little twist to it.
that's
If you listen to the
thing.
way he talks, them tiny little words mean a lot.
The things I pick up on is things that I've gone through myself. I can only look and see into another when I'm looking in a mirror. And when
Yeah,
I've seen the trolling and I've seen the things and what I've seen go on, that's why I then become like same with the situation with the Kelly down. I become quite protective, and that's been something since I was a, a baby, but I didn't get diagnosed till 2017. And
yeah,
sometimes I end up putting myself at risk, and I'm aware of that, and that's why I get very wary of as of late from the diagnosis in 2017 because that's why I say Dr. Ryan, she saved my life because when people give you an understanding of why you do things in life. There's a time, 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a lady in her wheelchair. I've run up an alley. I could have got stabbed. I could have got hurt. I don't,
yeah,
I need, sometimes we want to help others and that's okay, but we just have to make sure that we're okay and we're safe ourselves.
yeah.
So in
Hey, look,
you trying to reach out and help
someone's just
someone,
put in the chat here. Matt Taylor demanding money, silver coins from you to return these phones, and that's exactly right. He said to me, if I give him some silver coins, he'll give me my phones back. But yet, when the old bill was onto him, he didn't know they were stolen. He didn't know they were
that's
stolen
what I'm
phones,
saying.
but
There's a
he
lot
was
of,
offering to sell them back to me.
yeah, there's a
What?
lot of things that get said, and it would be good. I think I'm not trying to influence you and Matt to talk or anything, but there is something unresolved.
Yeah,
Some
I've got
sort
no
of
time.
media
I've got no time
responsibility.
for him because I was in I was in Andy Devine's group for
Yeah,
a long time. So I knew what Matt was like, and I could see how Matt twists things, and he does it in a way that gets you really angry. And if someone's going to do that, I would rather just delete them and get rid of them because I don't want people to make me feel angry. I like to come on here and have fun and maybe have a little dig at people that have done wrong in the past that have been proven to be bullshitting liars. I don't mind doing a bit of that. But I can't believe the shit, the absolute scum that come on YouTube. They always seem to talk about fucking kids all the time, which winds me up. It's like that PD. I was watching something the other day. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like the guy. I don't dislike the guy. He's just neutral. He's nothing to me. But when he come on a live and he's slagging someone off, and to me, he's getting gratification in how he's saying stuff. When he's calling someone out, why would you fist fuck a 4-year-old? And I'm like, whoa, PD, whether that's happened or not, you don't fucking say that shit. That is fucking wrong and disgusting for you to point that out and keep saying it. Saying it bad once is bad enough, but he kept saying it. And I was like, you are absolutely vulgar. You're fucking vulgar for even saying that about someone else has done it.
It's that kind of language is where I say people should be very careful speaking their own stories. We can all get pulled in. I've been a fool of that myself, you know. You think people want to hear and they don't. Some I don't know why they think it's okay to continue that kind of language, especially if the audience that are watching them are victims or survivors or whatever. I mean, it's not okay, is it? It's not. Like, why do you, so?
When
Yeah,
you come on here,
awkward.
And you give it all that, oh, I've got all this evidence of paperwork and whatever, and then you talk like that. No, I'm not having that. That's not a genuine person. No one would come on here and call someone out for doing that to a child and keep saying it.
There's a lot of things when I was saying about my own videos I'm not able to put up because it jeopardizes your own case or jeopardizes the case. So anybody speaking about active cases or things that have happened, they shouldn't be, not online anyway, until it's dealt with in court.
Yeah.
Or dealt with by the relevant professionals. Not, you know, there's things I can say, there's things I can't say.
Honestly, it's so easy to end up in court on here. It really. Let me go and turn my engine off. Give me 1 sec.
Try and read. I haven't seen the comments, so hold on this one.
I'm back. Sorry.
What I just want to say is I am aware that you have your own dislike and issues with Matt and vice versa, whatever goes on.
Yeah, well, Matt's the past now. I don't bother about Matt. He's the past. I mean, at the end of the day, we could have been friends and we could have helped each other's channels. But when people choose to go with other people's lies and they choose to lie about stolen property, that's not a very nice person, because all that person had to do is go, whoa, I don't want nothing to do with this. And
just a heads up, there's a few people not been speaking up, hence why I feel when I say about having to speak, I don't
see. I would if I find that, see, this is probably why I don't get on in a lot of groups. If I find that someone's lied blatantly in that group, I will not go along with it. I'm not a fucking sheep like a lot of these idiots that do.
But that's you.
I would call it out and I would leave that group, because I would feel right in myself speaking the truth. And that's why I get so many enemies, because if I see someone's an arsehole, I'll fucking call them out as an arsehole. And there's not that many people that I've actually fallen out with. They've fallen out with me because I've attacked their group leader for not being genuine. The argument's nothing to do with them, but they all want to jump in on the bandwagon, get their 2 bobs worth in, and then it all ends up wrong anyway. because I don't think that I've said much on here that's not the truth.
The thing is you're a character of your own. So in a group where there has to be a leader, you'll always be a problem anyway.
Well, that's
So
right, yeah, because I'm not a follower. I'm not a follower.
if you've
And I
got your
will
own
call
character,
people out if I see they're doing wrong. I'm
yeah.
not perfect,
No one's. That's the thing. No one's perfect. This is
but
what
I
people.
don't go out of my way to fucking have a go at people for no reason. I do it for a reason. And what really makes me laugh, right, is you get some of these arseholes, they start a group up and they get so many followers, but it's all the shit again. It's like I said before, there's a cloud of shit on the internet that floats around between all these groups. It's a cloud of shit.
But
They're
that's why
all the
you.
same people and they all float around talking their crap in these groups and they're fucking boring. Absolutely boring.
That's why you've got it like the EastEnders. They get like millions of views or what they do. It's not to go on the religious side, but Jesus only had 12 disciples. It's a sense of the more following or the more people. They used to have the other saying is being
Oh, I've got
popular.
11. I've got 11 on here at the moment. 11 disciples. That's not bad, is it? I must be the 12th one.
That's it. That's the thing. It's just the more people, the more that's added. That's the I keep saying it, but if things aren't adding up in life, start subtracting.
Well, there's
Sometimes we add too much to our lives, and then we're trying to figure out what's going on. But it's because we're adding so much, and we come into the world. The life of Brian thing. We come in the world with nothing. We go out with nothing. What have you got to lose? Nothing. In life, we get very attached to belongings, people, things, but we've got to still remain ourselves. But yeah, everything else exists, but it's not coming with us, is it?
no.
It's a reality of what is coming with us is our soul, our conscience.
Well, that don't even come with us because I don't believe in the afterlife.
What come up? Yeah,
I believe we just die and rot away. Let's get on with it.
but
Because
that's
at
what
the
I
end of
mean.
the day, there'd be fucking millions and millions and billions of souls everywhere, wouldn't there?
Yeah, no, what I
Literally.
mean, come with us as in whether we die out, whether people believe in the after, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's what we are on our own death, but we have to contemplate the questions we have in our own minds and what the battle is with the mind. It's not about this religion, that religion. It's with our own self. We
Yeah.
are our own
Well,
enemy.
I think the religion is like a comfort blanket to a lot of people. But
There's
I believe
religion, there's
I be,
indoctrination, there's faith, and it's a faith
yeah,
is a very different, that thin line, because
yeah.
this faith is something that gets people that wouldn't even step into a church through things. I'm not Bible bashing religion. I'm not like that. I wouldn't like anybody to put that and do that on me.
Well,
And
I think the internet's the new Bible.
yeah, what it is. The internet, the socializing. I mean, narcissism and then the rates of it has gone up, not because people are born with it or they grew up with it, but because of what we've been given and shown and what we've been allowed to have access to.
Yeah, but don't
So
you think there's a lot of that in churches anyway?
yeah, the church. I mean,
So,
that's the
like,
thing. How
I mean,
can you have a
it
church
can't have
have
got any
more?
worse. It could have only got better, really.
The thing is, that's what I mean. It is getting better. People are waking up that we
Yeah,
don't need to segregate, separate, and think it's hard because each to their own. But when it comes, I don't like it when it comes to people trying to benefit off the weaknesses of others. And if that's churches, that's churches. And especially when it comes to what's happened in the Catholic Church and others, it's not to put it all down, but it's trying to separate that sometimes it's not it as a whole, or it could be the group say if it's not in your life, if it's not what your belief system is, it's not your worry. It's all about belief, isn't it? What we believe in. So yeah,
yeah.
it's religion can get all technical. That's why I try not
Well,
to,
I think
it's
even religion's lost its way, really, because technology, it's like the way I see it, right? Technology has gone too quick for our brains to comprehend it all.
yeah, well there's
Don't you think?
that's what they tried to say about the age of Aquarius, the 2012. It wasn't about the end of the world. It was about the enlightenment, and the age of technology was being introduced, and the information is now going at a mass speed. You know, you
Yeah,
can pick up your phone, you can learn you can go and put on a YouTube video and learn. I've put on the YouTube video, looked at the tiling, and I've tiled my kitchen. You know, you can do things and you can learn much quicker
yeah.
now, rather than going sitting in a college for 2 years trying to learn to get to the end stage. Because a lot
Well,
of people, yeah,
I've always learnt
kindergarten,
my trades actually in the fields. I've never been to college because I'm not that sort of a person. I have to do hands-on. That's where
you'll
I've
be
learnt all my trades.
the thing is, you know, the college I started learning, although I've been there, college knowledge, you know, there's other things. What I didn't know until I was in my 20s is when the tutor done a test and said about being kinesthetic. I need to see things
Hi, Void.
visual as well
Sorry.
as audio. So that's the same thing. People, they've tried to make
Yeah.
everybody learn in the same way. So don't put
Would you
yourself, because
do you know
a lot
do
of
you know
people
what
are
I? Sorry to
ADHD.
interrupt because I keep doing that. I had a job as a roofer when I left school. That was my second job. The first job lasted a month. And I learnt the trade. I learnt the trade good. I stayed there, done all my apprentice, become a roofer, blah, blah, blah. And I found if you're not the favorite, if you're not the supervisor's favorite, you don't get all the good money earning jobs. So straight away, I didn't like that. And then we had, I was doing a job over Enfield town. It was the big shopping precinct in the middle of the one way, massive.
Right, right
I
near
was
the
I was
police
there
station.
for I think nearly 2 years, and we got a bunch of students coming that had just finished their course at college, right? And I was asked by one of the supervisors to look over this young lad that had learnt the game in the classroom. And I was teaching him how to do stuff, basic stuff he should have learned, even though he's been in the classroom for God knows how long. And in the end, I went over to the supervisor. I said, "Look, I'm not being funny. I'm on a price. You've given me this idiot from a classroom. He don't know nothing. I'm having to teach him how to put a nail in a tile. He should have known that.
Yeah,
And the clip. He should know how to do the clips. He don't know nothing. And I'm having to
this is,
stop all the time. So I just said, just take him away. I'm not interested. I said, if I'm on a price, there's no way I'm dragging him around with me. They
yeah,
didn't
you
know
and
nothing.
well, that's the thing that I did find is when when I had my son at 16, so I didn't pass my GCSEs. I didn't do all of that at school. That's why I took myself back to college. But what I did find is when I tried to go back, even well, the accounting one, sometimes it was just okay just to get the class through,
Yeah,
even if you didn't know what was going on. And that was actually the argument and the issue that I had with the tutor, because I said, I'm not here for everybody in the classroom. I need you to teach me, because when I leave here, how the hell am I going to know when I go and get the job? But as long as
yeah.
he was passing people through, he was happy with that and I wasn't. So I became the problem because I actually wanted to learn. I'm in the college to learn.
Hi, Rapid. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
what you're
with that
saying now, you've got
accountancy though, when you're in a classroom with doing accountants and stuff like that, you do learn tricks of the trade.
yeah,
You do
they
learn that because I did
they
start account. Well, I actually started bookkeeping, and there was a lot of tricks of the trade that they teach you.
they would yeah the
But I
things they're
got pissed
teaching.
off with it. I thought I can't do this. I'm not going to be fucking sitting here all my life adding up numbers and doing this and doing that. I
That's
couldn't do
exactly
it.
what you see. That's where my career thing changed. Is because of my son and the way he was and needing help, and he was too active. And so then I started volunteering in the school to just look after him, make sure that the teacher wasn't. And then I started going into the higher access education. So it ended up going from that to yeah, doing duck duck goose in the in the playground. So I'd rather I couldn't sit with keep pushing the pen. It's annoying, it's frustrating. Being hands on is more, you know,
Yeah.
if that's yeah.
My wife was actually a teacher. and she didn't want to be promoted because the position she was in, if she went up another position, yeah, her wages did go up a little bit, but the paperwork went up massively.
Yeah, the
She's
paperwork
like,
that
no, I can't do that. I'm not bringing work home with me, and I'm not doing it. And I thought, I don't fucking blame you.
yeah, I only got to the teaching assistant level. I didn't manage to be able to continue, but a lot of this will come out and why. But there's a
Well, do
lot
you
of
know
what
what?
the
My,
pressure
my,
that
wo-
on these
my
schools is wrong.
oh,
They
bye,
don't
Emily.
the paperwork that they are made to do, the things it
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
and
do you
lower.
know what? My 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 wife was a teacher assistant, right? And she was good at it because you could tell by the stories that she tells you after work. And she worked in a school with disadvantaged children, and
Yeah,
she was put in this class, and there was this horrible, I suppose horrible's the right word, even though it was a child. There was this horrible child, right, that disrupts the classroom. But you've got to remember that they are disadvantaged kids. Some are handicapped, some can't do mainstream school. So it is quite a mix of
there's a
troubled
special education
kids, if you
needs.
like. And
Yeah,
this girl, right, that was at this school, she was 15, but she was like a full grown adult, like one of the big girls. She was one of them, right? And she had an issue with another teacher, like a proper teacher. My missus was in the classroom. Well, she was in the classroom with the girl, and the teacher was outside the classroom. And this girl went for this teacher. Now, they tried to keep the door shut as best they can. My missus took her phone out and said to the girl, "You better stop this because it's being recorded." But she didn't record it. She just made that to try and calm the girl down. The girl has gone to the headmaster, told the headmaster that my wife is recording her. Do you know they come to the classroom and march my missus out of the classroom while they done an investigation?
that's the thing. I'm trying to understand whether it was secondary, primary, what the whole scenario is, because I've been in difficulty with my son's school, and it
Yeah,
does get, especially when it's special educational needs schools. So
yeah.
it's hard. But the procedures and things,
Well,
obviously, on my side,
to be honest with you, some of the stories that she told me about some of them kids. I mean, we talk about all these people that mess with kids and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really like talking about this stuff, but this was my wife's life. She would have kids going into school, young men, really, and they would be filthy as fuck. And half of the time, and this has been told by the kids to my missus, their parents let them watch porn of an evening while they're at home. And the teachers get it when they go to school.
why? Why they?
What sort of
But
parenting is that?
that's the thing. It's difficult when depending on
So
the some young men.
yeah, but
Then
you've got kids, right, with
it's not.
disabilities or disadvantages in the world, and then they've got scummy parents that let them do what they want, and then they go to school and they disrupt the whole class.
That's generally the idea, and some of it. This is the difficulty that I've had bringing my son up is that I've seen it with parents playing on this ADHD thing, playing on this stuff. And before Aaron was even born, there was a story I'd heard. I'd never even heard of the ADHD, but the behavior of this boy. And I had this view, my child's never going to have that. And, but when things are put in place or provisions and things, and there's a difference. But one thing I don't understand is when it comes to these special educational needs schools, they're integrating all ranges of ages of children with each other. You can have a 7, 8-year-old sitting there with a 15-year-old in the same class learning.
Yeah. Well, she
The odd
reckons that there's kids in there that were over 18 and making out they was 15
well, they
that
shouldn't
have
be.
come
It's
from
just
abroad.
that's what I mean. They shouldn't be in that age. It takes a
No.
lot to get the child statemented to be sent to the special school and all of that. So if there are over age ones in there, then that would be vetted and done through the council. You know, there's no somebody would have to take liability for it because there's a, you
Yeah.
know there's it's a hard thing to talk about when there's so much to explain. Do you know what I mean? It's so much to
Yeah.
there's so many areas of it on this teacher side.
You
The
find a lot
academic
in a lot of these schools, or what do they call them now? They're not schools now, are they? They're called something
in-
else. But do you
so
find academies? Yeah, the
that's
academies. Yeah.
academies. Yeah.
Do you find a lot of these academies now just use um, teachers, random teachers, to do lessons that they're not trained for?
This is the issue that this I
Like
don't
you might get a French teacher teaching maths and things like that because the
all the
school,
supply
I
teachers
always
do.
find that a school has got a circle at the top, right? This circle at the top, they're over 100 grand plus a year, right? And they look after each other. This is how it comes across to me. They've got their little inner circle that is tight as a whatever, and they won't let anyone in that circle, but they'll use everyone around that circle. And the circle always comes out on top. And the people around them that have bent over backwards to meet their demands get shat on.
Well, yeah, this is what I've witnessed
And
with
we're talking about
local
the
schools.
headmaster, the deputy head, and the main teachers. Some of the main teachers that are in their school, they're always in that little circle of clicky
This I'm
people.
saying they have their own groups, and I've witnessed that on both sides, mother and working for the local authority. I've witnessed it on both sides, and with my son having so many social workers as well, I've witnessed how if a social worker tries to do the right thing, which is by law, what they're trained to do by policy, procedure, they get penalised, they get picked on by the manager, the counsellors step in, and they're the ones that end up getting the
Yeah,
the
and it's only the
problem.
bad social
And you've
workers that
had
seem
some
to get
really
away
good,
with it all.
yeah, you've had some really good social workers that, you know, I've had to also understand it's their job, it's their life, it's their income, it's how they put food on their table. It's not
Yeah,
personal. You have to separate the difference between who's actually doing the decisions. And a lot of these decisions that have been made, it doesn't lay down or come down to the social worker. It's always goes higher up. And it's those people that I'm having the issue with that have allowed and continue to allow things to go on so that they could make money.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
issue that
You're
I have
correct, Lloyd.
with the making the money is statement in children, especially my child, but you don't give this child an education, you don't give him provisions, you don't give him access to education, social peers, but they're making money off him. And because
Yeah,
of the statement, they would get 30 odd £1,000 for the year. But if he's in a mainstream school, they don't get as much. But with the statement, they do. So you're noticing a lot of children, there's all this disability, all this other stuff, but whether or not these children are actually getting these services,
yeah.
I'm
My
concerned
wife
about
actually
that.
got pinned down by a 15-year-old in a classroom on her own, and
That's where no, that's not
hi
okay. This
Duncan,
is this is there's
and
a
we
worry.
believed that he was going to rape her. We believed that, but a teacher walked past and see the fight on the floor and intervened. But that 15-year-old was like a fully grown man.
That's there's you see there's things that there should be males, there should be female, you know, there should be a proportion to be able to handle and deal with these children if they're not able to. And I'm not saying that she couldn't. I'm saying that I'm not understanding a 15-year-old, because obviously I've only dealt with the primary school special
Yeah.
needs school, so I've not. I,
Well, a lot of these kids, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just allowed to get away with what they get away with because they know that if they pick up a stink and cause a riot, they're going to get attention. And that's what
so
happened. And then
in
they
a
get
lot.
worse and worse and they get away with stuff. And then when they start pinning teachers to the floor, that's disgusting. The only answer the school has got for that is go to restraining classes. So every now and then they have restraining classes.
No,
But
but when it
that's
gets
all
to
right if there's two
no,
or three of you. But there's
no,
when there's a little woman up against this big guy, how
yeah,
does
no.
it work then?
That's the thing. When it gets to if a child's 15, surely the police would be called. Surely, if the child's big enough, they're not going to be able to try and on the
Yeah, but
restraining.
it never
Now
gets
the
to that
police
level, does it? It never gets to the level where the police are
for the
called. The
safety.
teachers are pulled into the office and questioned.
Well, no, if
That's
the
all what
teachers, as
happens.
soon as is it 10, 11, I'm not advocating that all children or special need, but they should be taught to be held accountable if they think it's okay to go and assault the teacher. It's not okay, is it? It's assault, regardless of condition, regardless of disability or whatever it is. If that is a continuation of behavior and somebody's got to stop and safeguard the person at harm. So whether or not that's, if that was the teacher doing it to the child, the teacher would be going, well, you can't report the teacher. That's the thing. It's same. It's
Maybe
it's
they do it.
hard. It's a hard subject, but
Yeah.
what I will say, it's been actually quite good to talk to you tonight.
Yeah.
But I will come off. I've started to feel a bit tired now. But
I thought, wore
yeah,
you out.
no, I wore myself out as well. I can talk for England. You can, I think we could talk for for hours. We could keep going. But yeah, no, it's an
It's not.
interesting subject. It's one to
Yeah, it's
be
nice to clear
discussed.
the air with you, anyway, Katie.
It is, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, we could go on about that subject all the time. It's like even like even this, right? This was pathetic, right? My missus, or shall I say, one of the kids at the school got attached to my missus, right? She was a young lady and a young Asian girl at the school, and my missus could see that she was vulnerable, right? And she thought that stuff was going on at home because you have to look out for bruises and marks and stuff like that on children and report it. So she's kind of got friendly with this young girl because she's a bit of a loner and what have you. So now this girl, I can't remember. I know there was something wrong with this girl. I don't know what it was. It was an attachment issue. So she's got attached to my missus, and my missus was one of the school meetings where the parents come to the school and all that, and her dad made an accusation that my wife was trying to groom his daughter,
mm,
and
yeah,
we just couldn't fucking believe it. Like, it always seems when you go that extra mile to help someone because you see they need your help, you get fucking slaughtered.
that can be the other side of it as well. It's not okay for
Yeah, and
allegations.
that stays on your record.
Yeah, and that again, that's something that actually, when I was, doing the teaching assistant thing, as silly as it sounds, I didn't actually realize that you can be put in situations where you can be then accused of, what you're saying,
Yeah,
accusations.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
even if you're being honest,
don't you find that the teacher's assistant always does the teacher's work?
they do a lot of the teacher's work, but at
Where
the
they're not
same
meant
time, when
to.
everything go on in the school, they don't allow enough employment. Once it goes past certain, year one, it's just then the teacher and all the children in the school. Under that, you've maybe got one other teaching assistant. There should be more. It's not okay for just, 30 odd children in the classroom. Okay, put more children in the classroom, but what about more help in the classroom?
Yeah.
Because everybody in the classroom, one thing I did like in there is that everybody comes together, everybody helps each other, and it's a unit. Do you know what I
When
mean? Because the main focus is making sure that you get through the day, the children are okay, they've got
yeah.
through the day, and they go
A
home.
good teacher does make a lot of difference, but I believe that parents should be a lot more accountable for how
Yeah,
their children behave when they're at home.
that's a lot of the problem, is that a lot of parents do think that they can just send their children to school and that's where they do all the learning.
Yeah,
The,
because
the,
some
the
of them
school
even
can't
go to
have,
after school. I
yeah,
mean,
well,
I know
yeah,
there's parents that have to go to work and earn the money for them to go up after school, but some of these parents didn't even go to work, and yet their
yeah.
kids was in the after school, and that all had to get paid for.
Well, this
So
is the thing is that a lot of the help does need to come from the parents as well, because
yeah.
the teachers become the secondary parent
Well,
when
to be
they're,
honest with you, I think teaching should be a priority at home, a
yeah.
main priority at home, teaching, whether you're
Mhm.
going out teaching your child stuff or you're teaching them respect. Because I remember we all used to respect our elders when we was younger.
My battle with them was that because I can do the job well at home, or I can do it okay myself, or I'm doing. The only issue was the constant battle with the school not being able to cope with him and things. So I didn't know that there was, the only duty was that in a child's rights is that they receive education. And this is what became the issue when I decided to remove him from his education in May of 2016, because they were making money off him, but he was constantly at home with me. They were forcing me not to be able to work, forcing me to be on benefits, telling me it's better to be on benefits. And I'm telling them, what kind of life is this? So they're
Yeah,
receiving the payments, they're receiving the money for my son to be on their records, but he's at home with me. I'm
yeah,
not getting any respite. I'm not getting any break. I don't know when it's day in, day out. And that's why the parents and carers have had to fight to get their rights and start changing laws, because this is what's been going on, is that a lot of my son's, when you look at the money that's been made, but he hasn't received the services.
yeah,
So it's a difficult one. And then you've got the
yeah,
other side where you've got children who are accessing those services, abusing it and hurting your ex-wife.
yeah. They
That's
get
what I
they get paid so much for every child in a school, don't they?
They get paid more as if the child has a special a statement, um,
Yeah,
a EHCP now. It's Educational Health and Care Plan.
yeah,
But again, that's failing because all the services aren't coming together. That was supposed to help the school, to take a lot of the pressure off the school as well, so that it includes the social workers, all of everybody together, or social sides and everybody, so that they can work together to make sure that this plan works for this child. But you end up having the meetings and you're sitting there with the teacher, and the teacher's got to do all the speaking for all the other professionals that failed to turn up. So it's a lot of miscommunication, but a lot of money making transactions.
yeah.
So
It's big
it's
big
difficult
money
to
in
see.
this non-education.
Well, my son's had over two. I can sit there about £2 million transactions back and forth in his name, getting us to sign paperwork saying that they'll offer this and do that. And they're all things that are normal, any child should receive. But then,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's bad, isn't
it's
it?
it's what it is. So it's just got to look at it from a bigger perspective of what's
I
really going
suppose
on.
really the way they must look at it, they rake money in to have the kids at the school, so they let them run riot. So they leave school, they end up getting a criminal record, go into prison, costing an absolute fortune a year to keep them in there
Creating
because
jobs.
it costs a hell of a lot of money to keep one person in a prison.
Well, they're creating jobs because if they've
And
not
what
exposed
they're
children
doing
to
is they're
early
just
knowledge,
creating loads of money for themselves. It's the
yeah.
system, the system, the system. Whether
Well, in
you're in
Mark,
your school or whether you're just going about your daily business and you jump a light or you park in the wrong place or you look at the wrong person, fines, fines, fines. That's all we fucking get. And
yeah,
it's like, because they drip it to us, it's like we're like, oh well, whatever. Well, I won't do that then, or I won't go there, or I won't. And
yeah,
before you know it, you can't do anything without getting a fine
yeah.
for
Everything's,
something.
you know, it's become a money making system. There's no remedies really anymore. There's not really. I mean, there is justice, there is things, but not from what I'm seeing. There's just a what's called a compensation nation, and that's what everyone's doing at the minute. And
Yeah. Well, do you know
it,
what? I bought a book a few years ago, right? Quite a few years ago. It was all to do with avoiding certain fines when you was on the road. And I was reading through this book, right? And funny enough, I didn't actually read the book when I got it. I had it floating around for years, and I just happened to pick it up. I mean, I probably had this book near on 20 years, might be longer, I'm not sure. But as I was reading through this book, right, I was laughing at it, right? Because when I actually bought this book, a lot of what they were saying in the book wasn't around. It didn't exist, right? And I'm reading through this book and they're talking about speed cameras and parking fines and loads of stupid stuff like that. And it was going like, if we don't put our foot down now and say this is enough, this is how bad it's going to get. And they was talking about the cameras and everything, and it amazed me how conditioned we've become to just looking at cameras as a normal thing on the road now.
yeah,
Whereas if I'd have read that book back when I actually bought it, I would have laughed and said, do they think we're that fucking stupid and we would let that happen? But but we
this is
do,
time.
because they drip feed us, and
Yeah,
all these little tiny things we just go, oh well, whatever, silly bastards, just
yeah,
whatever, avoid
over,
it.
yeah. No, I
And it's
remember.
everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And now it's getting so fucking bad that we have to buy something before we go to a shop and buy something now. Like a mask. We have to buy a mask to make sure we go in the shop with a mask on to buy stuff.
It's that's what I mean. It's idiocracy. I don't know how else to explain it. The way you just said it there, you've got to buy something to go in the shop to buy.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
exactly
it's
that.
like now when you look at the doctors, you have to phone the doctor to get a phone call off the doctor to make a fucking appointment with a doctor. I can't believe it. I phone him up and I go, isn't this wasting your time? Can't you just make an appointment? No, we're going to get the doctor to phone you. They're going to phone you tomorrow between these hours and they're going to give you 2 phone calls. And if you miss both phone calls, you're going to have to phone back and make another appointment. Oh, but I ain't fucking made an appointment yet. I'm just...
I've been
How
having
nutty is that
that.
though?
That's the issue. I've been having you phoning up. The doctor will phone you back to make an appointment.
Yeah, it's like it's not the secretary that phones you back, it's the actual doctor. Now, couldn't that doctor be seeing someone rather than phoning me up to say, yeah, what's wrong? And you tell me, I go, yeah, you need to make an appointment. I fucking know that already.
You wouldn't be ringing otherwise. You
No,
stopped
that's it.
phoning the GP. Yeah, I get what you mean. You're just thinking, I wouldn't phone you otherwise if I didn't think I needed to see you.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
like when I go and have a blood test. I walk in there and they go, well, you haven't got a mask on. I go, yeah, I know, I don't wear one. And then we just carry on as normal. Like I've said the magic password and then like nothing else is said because they can't say nothing beyond that because it's illegal. This is how fragile this system is. They can
I
say,
read,
oh, you haven't got a mask on, but they can't say to you, well, why ain't you wearing a mask? What's wrong with you? Because that's illegal.
But this is the issue that I've had at the moment. I'm supposed to be going to this yoga to get out of the house, and apparently I can't go because I'm not jabbed. I said, isn't the whole point is to build up my immune system to get me out of the house? And the people that are there are protected. So as long as I stay away from them, I'm not
Yeah,
talking to them. I'm just going there and so, well, basically, I'm supposed to watch a Zoom and do
yeah,
it
me
through the
too,
Zoom.
boy.
But I said I can just watch YouTube or something and do one. The main thing is to try and get out. But there is this big worry of why people who are at life risk of taking this jab, I can't take it because it can take severe risk to my life. And that's been agreed. My doctor. So the lady's on the phone to me, and yeah, she's answering her own questions. So it's difficult because you're not trying to argue with a GP, you're not trying to argue with others, but there's all this doubt, and then you sit there and you've got the news coming on, and number 10 can't even figure out what they're doing, or they're keeping secret what they're doing,
Well,
and it's
apparently,
hurtful.
I heard. Sorry to interrupt, but I actually heard they're going to drop all this vaccine stuff soon.
They've clearly, there's something wrong about everything that's gone on, and
Do
it
you know?
needs
Do
to
you
be
know? Do you
addressed.
know what I think they was trying to do, Katie? I honestly believe, like, that they were scaremongering people, right, into getting this injection so that they got over a certain percentage, and they kept bumping their numbers up, making out. I believe they was making out that the percentage was really high, but I personally believe that we're in our 30s, 40%, low 40% of people that have actually had this done. This is
The
why
the
I
inhumane
feel that they're going to drop it in the end, because they're not going to get the percentage they need to make it mandatory.
I think it's inspiring to watch people to be able to make their own choice. And I
Yeah,
think,
I won't go
and
near
I
a
think
mask. I won't. I mean, I went to the doctors the other day, right? Because I had to have a testosterone blocker injection in my arse. It fucking
mm,
hurt. Right.
yeah.
And I just bowled into the doctor. This is how weird it is, right? This is the process, right? I phoned the doctors up because I'm a bit confused about my GIC process. I
Oh,
phoned the
hold on.
doctors
It
up
was
and I goes, look,
to
I'm supposed to be having an injection, blah, 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 blah. Right. Well, leave it with me. I'll get the doctor to phone you. Usual process. I said, okay, they're going to phone you tomorrow. Between this time, they're going to give you 2 phone calls. If you miss them, you're going to have to make another appointment. Okay, fine. So I gets the phone call off the doctor. I talk to the doctor about my injection. She makes arrangements for the injection. I thought, lovely. Now the process is going. Lovely job. So I get this appointment. I go there, and I have to wait in my car. Over the
mm.
phone, they said to me, when you come to the doctors, my appointment was at 2 o'clock. When you come to the doctors, sit in your car and phone us up. Right. I went, she goes, because the doors are locked. I went, all right then. So I've gone now. I phoned them up. There's about 10 of us in the car park, all in our cars. So I phoned her. I went, hi, it's Paris outside. I've come up for my injection. Okay, Paris, what colour car are you in? I goes, I'm in a silver CRV, bang opposite the door. Okay, thank you. I'll come out and get you when I'm ready. So I'm waiting there for about 10 minutes, and then she's come out and called me after she's called a few other people in. I've gone in now. I've spoke to the nurse that's giving me the injection. So we're having a nice little chit chat, and we're going off into a little office, and she's explaining everything to me, which was lovely. And then I've had my injection, and fuck me, did it hurt. Fucking 3 days my leg's been fucking numb. I goes, make sure that's not the vaccine. You make sure that it's a fucking testosterone blocker and not a vaccine. And we're having a laugh about it, right? And then she's going on about the mask, right? And then I pointed to my face, right? And because I didn't have a mask on, but she didn't even notice, right? So she's gone, oh, Paris, you haven't got a mask on. I went, yeah, I know, I don't wear one. I said, I'm not interested in all that bullshit. Yeah, I can understand this and understand that, blah, blah, blah. I said, whatever, right? And then I've had all my treatment done, right? Well, I got stabbed in the arse, right? And then I'm leaving, and she goes, Paris, could you please put your, because I had a scarf on, right, around my neck. She goes, can you please put a mask on when you go out, because I'll get in trouble. And I thought, how bad is that? That is fucking
That's
disgusting,
what,
isn't it?
yeah,
So I goes,
that
look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pull my scarf up over my face, not so it was on my face, but it was in front of it. And I said, that's the best I can do. She went, oh, thank you. And I thought, that's fucking sad, because that woman's retiring this year just because of the way they're starting to run the doctors now.
that's
Because
exactly
I
what
can't
everyone's
stand it.
doing, is that the pressure they're under, the routines they've
They're
been
under an
told,
oath. They're
yeah, they've
fucked.
been told you do this or you get in trouble with it, and it's really sad because they're being restricted, and then it's difficult for them to help their patients, and
Yeah. Well,
something
so
I
I've got a
it was
doctor, No, I've got a
mhm, yeah,
nurse and a police officer that lives on this site, right? They're losing their job in April because they won't get vaccinated.
oh,
They said, no, we ain't fucking having it done. So they're losing their job.
I think there's gonna be a lot to be changed with that. There's got to be a lot of it's
I reckon they're
yeah.
going to drop the vaccine
That was
because
it.
they can't afford to lose that many people. They're going to drop the vaccine because it's a big fucking scam. No one, we should all know by now, we're all old and
But
ugly and whatever. We should all know by now you do not get nothing for nothing. And you can't vaccinate the world and go, there you go, mates. You're all happy, lovely. Nice to see you. Goodbye.
you
There's
know the
gonna be
lady.
there's gonna be repercussions here. I'm telling you.
There is the lady Emma Kenny. I think I watched a video earlier. She's saying about it being a medical procedure, and if you was to go into the hospital and go in for a medical procedure and you wasn't sure and you wasn't okay with it, or you have every right to turn around and say no. And that's the same thing. I'm not sitting there saying to people they should, they shouldn't, but nobody should force. And the way that they're forcing people, people have been in their jobs for years and now they're
Yeah,
not able to continue their job because they're being forced to make a choice that could go against their core beliefs.
yeah,
And that's something that can cause the mental health because it's something that they're doing or being made or forced to do. It's a trauma that's being created that shouldn't be. So
yeah.
it's not I'm against it or for it. I'm saying is that in my own experience, being admitted to hospital with a virus, viral meningitis, I've got my own understanding of what it is, but I'm not here to give medical advice or anything. But it's a case of
No.
I don't feel that anybody should
I
force
mean, I
a choice.
personally, I've been fit all my life. Not fit as an athlete, but I've very rarely had things go wrong with me. Only if I have crashes on my motorbikes. They're the only time I end up in hospital if I smash myself up.
Yeah, but, yeah.
That's the only time I end up in hospital.
Well,
But
you're not doing it now,
for
are you?
me, but for me to decide to take this vaccine because there's this huge virus flying around everywhere that it confuses me because if you wear a mask and you've been boosted, you're safe. So everyone around me should be as safe as ours is who's wearing a mask because they've all been vaccinated, they've all got their masks on. It doesn't matter if I'm not wearing one because it can't get through your mask, apparently.
That's the
But
thing.
yet,
There's
but
too many
yet they
questions.
look at me like I'm a bit of dirt. I'm not taking notice of society, and I want to destroy society. But yet, I've done so much research on this shit. Even the government website cannot give you a solid 100% answer.
That's the thing. This is what the discussions I've been having my own social worker. I need to know 100% when I've had a healthy body, and it's only until I've taken professionals' advice till I've become ill.
Yeah.
Until you
Have
can
you?
start to look after yourself and know that if can look after yourself, we take the pressure off the NHS and everything else. But to be told, you know, I've not been told that I have to take it and think because it's, you know, but it
Well, when we was in that.
misunderstand it. There is something out there, and I do believe that there is something out there. But the way that it's taken out of context and been
Yeah, but it's a
monetized,
cold. Come on. I mean, I've had colds when I was a kid where I thought I was dying. I had
yeah,
shit coming out of my nose,
yeah,
everything
big fluids
really
coming out
rough.
of the
And
brain.
it's
Yeah,
just the cold. But now we get this thing where we've got this virus that you've got, oh, a tickly cough, oh, a little bit of an upset tummy. And
I feel it's
it's,
more to do with the a lot of people's immune system, and we've not
yeah.
been after it. We've been being psychologically
Well, it's a bit weird.
frightened.
It's all to do with a respiratory system, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
we get this new virus and we can't breathe and that. But I think, right, because when I was looking on the government websites, cold people dying from colds and flus or whatever went down, but COVID went right up. It's like they're
yeah.
messing about with the numbers, but the same amount of people are dying.
I can agree. You know, the John Hopkins, the things that were being said. I did when it first all broke out. I looked at all the statistics, but then they started removing all those pages and all of that. Everything that they've done, they raise a lot
Mm.
of questions for me. You
Well,
know,
they
because they're
reckon,
suspicious. Why would they delete statistics? Why would the
yeah.
statistics of flu just completely go? You know, I'm not happy. You've got this issue with this Boris and all of them partying. There's many people that have suffered not being able to get to their loved ones, see their loved ones. Loved ones have died alone.
Yeah, but
And
let's
some of
face it,
us will get
Katie,
to
they've
enjoy.
insulted us. They've
Yeah,
always
and
insulted
that's
us,
what's
laughed in
worrying.
our face. I mean, look when Harry done that, went to that party with that Hitler fucking outfit on. I mean, like, yeah, all right, he might be having a laugh and all that, but that
It,
people look
well,
up to them people.
exactly. If he's in that kind of to use that kind of uniform,
Yeah,
you know, it's just like,
I
well, if
mean,
you've got power, you've got
it's
voice.
just taboo, isn't it?
Is
And to
yeah,
rub it in even more, like half of the royal family's German anyway.
yeah. That's what I mean. When we go into all of
It's
the
all hypocritical. It's like they
yeah,
tell us how to live our lovely lives, and yet they're out partying, spending our money, taking the fucking piss out of us. Because I'm not being funny, Katie. If I was in their position, right, and I was sucking the country dry, enjoying my life, going anywhere I want, using any vehicle I want, whether it's ozone friendly or what, I probably would be laughing at the peasants
you know, currently it's
because it's
actually
hard not to.
you know, with all this Viking stuff and all of this series coming out, we currently have no Duke of Edinburgh, no Duke of York, and no Duke of Sussex. We're looking at an invasion.
No Lady Di.
It's yeah, times are changing, and some people have got to get used to it. But some things, you know, they lock down records and they lock them down for 70 or 90 years. All of that
I know, isn't
information's
it
coming out. That's
disgusting?
where
And
it's
and that
causing a lot of all of this.
disgusting though.
Well, it's for these reasons here, but when you've got the same monarchy, for the secrets are going to come out, aren't they? I'm looking at the people.
Yeah,
You know, you've got the issue with Andrew, but I'm looking at his friends here at the studios and the connections he has, the people, how he would get access to these children, all these people. If so, if but also it's not just my vision is not just on him. My vision is you know, there's people doing nefarious stuff in places and well, they seem to be making a lot more money than the royal family, and the royal family are bound to the crown, aren't they? So it's
yeah.
just
Well, to be honest with you, I would hate to be a royal because even though they get what they get, they still have to do what they have to do. They can't get out of that. They've got they've got um
uh,
they've got commitments they have to do
yeah, I wouldn't
all
want to be.
through their life, all through their life.
Hasn't it just come out about Fauci's emails or something that it was confirmed about this virus being created in a lab?
Oh, come on. Of course it was created in a lab.
So this is what I'm saying. There's so many things that they're questions that the public have.
Yeah,
They're not
but
being
the worst thing about all this, Katie, right, is what they do is they put loads of stories out there for the conspiracy theorists to jump on, and then they hide the truth because they have to tell the truth. That's the one thing they have to do. The way they say it is whatever, but they have to tell you the truth because if they don't, it's against the law. Not that the
who.
law stands up for much these days because it's all
No, that's
private.
the thing. They don't
But
have to tell the truth. They can tell what they want until they can get found out and then be in a position to have to defend themselves.
yeah, but somewhere along
So
the line, a lot of these scumbags, these big scumbags, I'm not talking about the little YouTube
and they're
scumbags.
covered like by Chatham House rules and
They've
other things.
already put it out there. They've already put it out there,
Yeah,
the truth. And then they
yeah.
carry on with their fucking bullshit. And if you choose to believe it, that's not their fault. You should have fact checked.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah, that's the
Because they
thing. You
just
see,
all they
you're
want to
very
do is
good at
suck you
doing
in.
research. Yeah, be careful. That's what they say. Be careful who you listen to,
Well,
or
I'm just
your
gonna
mind.
I'm just gonna do my lives now and just go over and annoy people. I'm not getting into all this shit anymore where I'm part of a group and I'm gonna save the world because I don't think the world needs saving.
No,
I
that's the
don't
thing. As long as you can do you and you're okay,
yeah,
it's your world. It's your world
yeah,
that if that needs saving or that needs healing or that needs comforting, that's it. It's the least you can do and be kind to you.
yeah,
Not like people are going to do that to yourself, are they? I can sometimes I get my down days, I get my up days, but it is what it is.
yeah, I do.
Just got to
But
remind
I
yourself.
get depression anyway, so like that, whether it's people on here or just life, I'll get depressed.
Well, Jim
But
Carrey
I
used to
do
say, "You're
I
gonna."
must say though, I do have a lot of uptime, but I have noticed the more I've been on the internet, I'm getting a lot more downtime. So I need to
Well,
just do my lives and try and stay away from people as much as I can because when I see someone talking like a cunt, I've got to call them out. I can't sit
yeah,
there and just go, hee, no, yeah, sheep, bah, bah.
yeah. Well, if you look at it as well, your brain being a receiver, what you entertain, you'll consume, and that will
Yeah.
consume your
I
thoughts.
just hope I don't I just hope that I don't start calling people out on my own show. I mean, if someone wants to come in here and have a row with me, and then yeah, I'll have a row with them. But I don't want to just come on here and go, oh yeah, well let's talk about this Wally
Yeah,
today or that Wally. I just want to do my own little thing where we can all chill out and have a chat and find
yeah.
subjects that are interesting because I'm not very clever at all. I'm very good with my hands. I'm
I think
very
you are
good at what I
clever. You
do,
put
but my
down.
education is really piss poor.
Well, people got to see whether education is indoctrination, but life lessons, what you
Yeah,
learn in life, that's what matters. You know,
yeah.
a lot
I've
of
learnt
what
a
I've
lot.
done is not in a school. I didn't learn, not in school. So
I don't
it's
think I learnt anything in school. I learnt how to sit at the back of the class
that's what I was like. That's it. That I was made. Sit at the back of the class, write my poems.
with a pencil and a
So,
bit of paper. That's all I ever got
yeah,
because I could never. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it
it
is.
was English. Yeah,
It really aggravates me because you give me a bit of paper. uh, I don't like an exam, even if it's the simplest thing. I
you don't
can't
understand.
relate the questions that I'm reading
Yeah,
to the answers that I've received somewhere along the line. I can't relate the two. So
yeah.
the question never gets an answer.
That's the that's the thing. All I can think is that trying to do my GCSEs, was it geography? I sat there and I thought I was doing everything that the teacher was telling me to do. I sat there for hours at home, colouring in these little boxes. I've actually still got it here, and I've done it all wrong. and I couldn't understand why I couldn't understand
It's
like
mad, isn't
everybody
it?
else.
It's
So it was
frustrating.
only 2017 till I got my answers. It took a long time, but everything made sense. Everything different. You know, doesn't mean that you're bad or it's what you make of your life. And just back then there wasn't much awareness, especially like for yourself. There wouldn't be much awareness in these things. My brother was 54 and he had his struggles, and this is why we have these statements and special education needs, EHCPs, to raise more awareness, to give more help to the child or the one that doesn't fit in, or the one that's recognized as needing or having special or extra needs than somebody else, so that they
Yeah,
can learn on the same level and to be able to reach their full potential. Because there's a lot of us that could have reached our full potential had we been given that bit of time.
yeah.
And
I can't
it's about,
I can't understand it though. How I can pick up on things like manually do things, actually interact and do things. But the reading and writing, well, it's not so much that, it's the spelling. I can't believe that I'm 59 and I still struggle to spell some of the most easy words. I don't
but your way of
understand
learning
why
is
that
different.
is.
Look
It's
at,
fucked up.
all I know is there's different ways, and I first heard the word kinesthetic and was told that that's what type of learning I am: visual, audio. I think there's three of them. I can't remember the other two. But look into it, and there's a way of learning and to adapt so that you can still learn. You just adapt to whip things around and make provisions for yourself
Yeah.
to be able to. But it doesn't mean
Well,
that
I
you
read a
can't
book.
do
I read a book once. Took me a long time on
it.
how to learn to read. Can you believe that? There's a book out there that is how to learn to read. And I tried these methods and they didn't work.
That's the thing. You do what's best for you. There's no
Yeah,
right or wrong. You know, what works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work
definitely.
for me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
found, especially going back doing maths and realizing there's all different
yeah,
ways of getting to an answer when it comes to a solution in a maths problem. So
yeah,
there's all different
yeah.
outcomes.
I was good at
But
maths when I was younger. I was good at maths. Most of my family was quite good at maths, but the
maths
English and the
is,
spelling, it's like it's terrible when you think about it. You're fucking English. You've been here all your life, and you can't even fucking spell or
well,
talk
this is where they start
properly.
taking out, yeah, this,
That's where the teachers have let us down.
mine's more my dad, the words, and yeah. The teachers are fine, we learn how to spell and things, but actually it's a total different language to what we're dealing with
Yeah.
in daily life.
Well,
So
it's
it's
like
hard.
when my daughter used to go to school, right, and she used to come home, and I used to think, Jesus Christ, she's talking a bit posh, but she used to pronounce the words properly, right, and I'd be like, oh, okay. It's like, wow, have I got to start talking properly in front of my daughter now? It's like they come home and they've got this little posh voice on them.
That's the thing. The joke I'd have with my dad about the common as much. Growing up with my dad, it's more how his, when they say like traditions, how your parents are brought up. My dad was born in 1941, so he was quite an old parent for me compared to
Yeah,
other children my age. Their parents were younger than my dad.
yeah,
So I've got a lot of the old ways and the old teachings and the old. So growing up, that's why another reason why I was weird, because I wasn't in with all the up to date cool kids.
yeah.
You know what I mean, they were all able to. Well, I didn't watch, like
Play knockdown ginger.
my dad was the one that taught us how to play the knockdown ginger, the Tommy knocking. My dad, when we went to Camden, and I was, like little trickster, and I used to get the little stink bombs, and we was
Oh,
on the
right, yeah.
train, and my dad actually taught me the perfect timing to set off the stink bomb. So just about as the train's stopping and you're about to get off, that's it. Crush it, get off, let the doors close, bye, and watch everyone hold their nose with a smile.
Oh God, that's bad, isn't it? I'd
So
like to
yeah,
try that.
I was the prankster. I was, yeah. So that's, if you can be you, and that's one thing I know is that with anything, with my dad, I didn't have to, when somebody believes in you, I didn't get a lot of it
Yeah.
in school or others, and you get bullying and
Do you
nobody's
find a lot
perfect.
of people on here are not them though? Like when you say
Yeah,
you be you, I
mm,
half of them are not themselves. I
yeah,
think they're
that's what I
really
found.
sad people that are looking for attention in some way.
I've seen it as the delusions. It's the
Yeah,
storytellings. It's the juggernaut. It's the things that go on, and especially the attention seeking. It is a social media, but then at the same time, it can be nice, but people choose. It depends where you go, doesn't it? Some
yeah,
people just really thrive on it, and I just tend to keep away from that because you can consume it. The six
yeah.
degrees of separation. You can whatever you're reading. Even if it was a book, if you don't like it, you put it down, don't you? It's,
Well, I'd probably put it down before I even started reading it.
sometimes I read the
If
back
it's
of it.
ain't a book about how to learn to read, I don't want to know.
I
I
There's
couldn't
there's
believe it
one
when
I
I
have
when I see that book
available.
though. It was like, oh, I'll have a go at that. Yeah, that makes sense. How to read.
A friend of mine lost a passport, but then rang up the passport office, but he has to find his lost number for his lost passport. But he's lost the number for the lost number. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God.
What was you just saying there? I'm gonna go to I'm going getting tired now. I'm gonna go sleep.
I was talking. I
Uh,
was talking about the actual book when I reading the
that
book.
was it. That was it. How
About
to
reading
read.
the book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm thinking, how can you find a lost number when you've lost the number? It's
yeah.
he's
But
got to
I've
find
done.
his
I've
number.
done that before though. Like you
Well,
get a code and then you lose the code, and it's like, oh fuck, that was my last chance.
that's it. Don't don't think it's still not done till to this day. You still got to find this lost number for the passport. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
that's a
a bit like your
fucker,
book there,
that,
how to read. You're reading a book on how to read it. The irony.
isn't
But
it? Yeah.
on that
It
note, I'm
didn't
going to
it
say
didn't
thank you
make no
for
sense to me at all.
it's one of those you look at it, put down,
Yeah.
that's how to read. It says no. Computer says no.
Yeah, it's just blank pages. It's like, don't bother.
Sometimes I don't even start from the first page. I end up opening I'll go and skip and realise I've got to go back to the first page.
Yeah, I
Never
can't
picked
stand
up a book
reading. I
before.
don't know why it gets me so angry. Perhaps I'm thinking of all them teachers that put me at the back of the classroom when I wanted to read something.
I mean, you might find it easier or better learning on a video or audio, as I was saying. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's similar.
audio's probably better,
It,
but I just never get round to it.
yeah, but even music I like. That's what I've
Yeah,
learned
I
a lot
do.
from is music as
Yeah.
well.
It's
Uh,
it's so annoying that you can't play music on here though, isn't it?
well, hopefully there'll be ways in the future. I think there's some sounds or something you can play in the background, but they end up sounding like some 70s porn music. So
Yeah.
it's a bit much. So yeah, I'm not going to be playing too much music in the future on
No,
mine,
you
and I
can't.
think you've got to get a license or something.
Yeah. I
Let's
think
try
you're
and
only allowed to play 9 seconds. But I think the reason they give me my one back was because I was talking over the whole thing.
where's your
But
content
they
then?
did strike it to start with. And like when you think like that's got to be over a year ago, that video, and they've only given me it back today.
Wow.
That must have been a really complicated video to go through because it was a whole Rod Stewart album. And they're probably like counting the seconds in between every time I stopped talking to see if it added up to 10 seconds or whatever it is so they could strike me. But
It's really
obviously
strange
it
you got
didn't
it back
happen
a
because I
year.
talked all the way through it.
It's strange you got it back a year later. That's a long time, as you say.
Yeah, I
Like,
think it was over a year because like some of the names that were mentioned, I haven't spoke to for a long time.
Do you think
And
it's a
one of
Rod
them
Stewart?
people, what's that?
Do you think it's a Rod Stewart fan on YouTube that's kept your video?
Yeah. He probably struck me because I've got away with it. Who knows?
We used to have this one of the in primary, Rod Stewart impersonator. He looked like
Yeah.
him growing up. He always used, yeah.
I met him in a restaurant in Waltham Abbey, Rod Stewart.
Well, the real one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
only ever
turned
met
up
the
there with his
impersonator.
family. It was an Indian restaurant, and they took a whole like this table was the length of the fucking restaurant. They obviously booked it, and they all piled in, didn't they? But he looked
Wow.
quite dapper. He looked like a decent guy.
He's got a few good tracks. I grew up listening to a few of the songs and stuff. It's just a bit weird,
Yeah, I
it's
like
one of
Rod
your
Stewart.
school friends at school, and it's their dad, but he's a Rob
Yeah.
Stewart impersonator. So, but yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
we
Paris,
had a guy, right?
yeah.
We had a guy when I worked in Leighton. I used to work in the shop in Leighton, right? And then we had an electrician used to come to our shop, right? And he looked like Rod Stewart, right? We always used to call him Rod, right? But the thing with him, right? When he was walking away from you, he had long blonde hair and a figure, right? And the amount of times that people bibbed him up outside the shop and then realised it was a guy, it was fucking hilarious. I used to fucking laugh my fucking head off about that. Fucking guy walking
This
up the
thing.
road with rolls of cable and guys bibbing at him because they thought he was a bird. When he turned around, he was about fucking 90.
Right. You know what? Memories are good. It's good to share and talk. It's good to express. Thank you for the laughs. It's been good. Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah,
we
thanks
don't
for
get.
coming on, Katie. I
I am gonna
appreciate
go. I've
that.
got to. I was gonna say I don't want it to just cut out, but I've got 2%. I'm gonna go off, get some sleep, and just bless you and thank you and May 2022.
Yeah,
But
bring it on. Oh, it's
hopefully,
here,
yeah,
isn't it? Fucking we're nearly through
that's it. That's it.
January. It's only 11 months till
Pardon?
Christmas. You know that, don't you? You better
Yeah,
start
not
getting
long.
things ready.
Oh, it went. I don't even know what's happened to 2021. It's just gone really quick. Blink, it's gone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think good things. Hopefully some answers. Hopefully, especially from what's going on regarding all this COVID stuff.
Well,
So
it would be nice if they did drop all this vaccine stuff, because that would kind of make the conspiracy theorists the truth tellers.
well,
I
I would
think.
just like to see more research of it. They say it takes about 2 to 4 years or something to show the effects of the vaccine fully to get there, or something.
Yeah,
But
but don't you think that's a bit dangerous? Because didn't we years ago used to have to test something for like over 10 years before we give it to the public, even
exactly,
when there was public dying that wanted to try that treatment because they had no other way out, they still wouldn't give it to them years ago. But yet
yeah.
we've got all these, I hate to say it, guinea pigs that have jumped up because they want to go on holiday and had it.
I,
And I'm like, wow, if I'm going to get it, I want to make sure millions of people before me have had it and they're all right.
well, yeah,
That's
that's the
my
thing.
way of seeing if it's all right or not. Let millions of people have it, because to me, that is a substitute for testing something for years. Because I don't think they've chucked something out like this before, this quick, with this
Well,
much
there's lots
effect
coming
on
out.
people.
There is lots coming out with the revealing of emails and with
Well,
down.
my nurse friend reckons that loads of people are getting blood clots since they've had this injection. Loads of
One of
people.
the there is
And
that case
and
where the
it's
woman
not related to the COVID vaccine. Of course it's not.
There is a case that has
Whatever.
been confirmed by the coroner, and the woman did die due to the vaccine and the blood clots that she got.
Yeah,
So
but that's
there is
going
at
to
least,
happen. You can
yeah,
have the nicest thing in the world, right? And someone will always die from it.
yeah. That's it.
It's
That's
as
the
simple as that.
It's
It's
touchy ground, isn't it?
unfortunate.
Until they actually have it all together and there's answers coming out. I don't think anyone's really got answers for what's going on. They kept everyone in craziness with all that Brexit stuff, and then it's just another 2 years of craziness with all this COVID.
Well, the
So
thing is,
literally,
it's like
well,
I
yeah,
like it. I like it when they go the extra mile to make things more genuine. Things like Boris Johnson going to have a jab, whatever, and people outside their houses clapping the nurses, whatever. It's all these little extra mile things that other people, that's their research. They'll go, well, everyone's outside clapping, so it must be genuine. Or
oh, yeah,
Boris
yeah,
Johnson's got an injection, so it must be true. That's it. That's their research. And yet they're the first ones to condemn someone like me that's been all over the government website, listened to loads of different groups, heard stories from people that have had the vaccine,
that's it. It's
and yet I'm
it's
criticised for sticking to my guns and saying no, I don't need the vaccine, thank you very much. I'm as fit as I can be for
it's
59.
for some reason it's not charging. It's on 1%. I'll say to you, stick to your guns. You make your own choices that you feel for your own
Yeah,
safety and your own reasons. And
yeah, I ain't
you know,
getting
I
no
think a lot of
vaccine. We'll
people
see
just
how
think
long
that,
I last without a vaccine.
yeah, well, that's
And
and
I like the way the last strain that we've got is weaker than the last one. Now, how does that happen? Because all through our lives, things have got stronger and overcome stuff and moved on. They haven't all of a sudden just popped out a little weak, a little weak
I think it's more to
virus.
do with our
It
bodies.
doesn't work like that.
Yeah, we've got to build
How
up our
can
own
they?
immune systems, haven't we?
And yet people are going, "Oh yeah, oh thank God for that. I'll get the boost. At least the last virus is weaker than the one before."
Well, for me, I'm still sitting here questioning a different virus, the 2017 one. You know, so yeah, it's all difficult for me to take in a lot of
We're
what's
guinea
being said
pigs.
when
As
you know
simple as
it's yeah.
that. We're guinea pigs. We're nothing else.
Yeah. Well, only you can look after your own body. I mean, the help is great, and if you can go to other services and they can help, but ultimately, you know, you're there. You need to do what you can to help you. And if you feel it's unsafe and you've done your research and you've come to
Yeah.
that informed choice, that's your choice, isn't it?
With the
It's
amount
that
of
it's
reading that I could do, my conclusion is the virus is a load of bullshit. It does exist, yeah, but I'm just going to stick with the cold.
I just because I've been told medically there's nothing that I can have done or be done for a virus. I've just got to take pain relief, up my vitamins and things, and so how can I sit here and that it is what
A,
it
vi-
is.
a virus is dead. You know that, don't you?
It's not bacteria, is it? So when they're
It's
talking
dead.
about,
And we produce viruses to cleanse the toxins out of our body. That's what viruses do in our body. They cleanse out toxins.
yeah,
But all of a sudden, we've got this fucking ludicrous virus that seems very clinical in its operation.
I, I am gonna laugh here because I'm saying to you, I know I talk for England, but I am gonna come off. But
Oh,
we'll have
sorry,
another day.
Katie.
We'll have another chat or something. But maybe one where
Yeah,
it's a bit earlier in the day or something. And but
yeah.
yeah, it's been brilliant. Just
I'll get 20
it,
months of I'll get 20 months free stream time, so you'll see me again.
yeah, I get 20. Well, the 20 hours. I think I've just come off my strike that I got. So it's
uh,
trying to learn it all, isn't it? Trying to understand what's okay and what's not okay. But
yeah,
yeah, I, I'll see you to, well, speak soon anyway. Thank you.
All
Have a
right
good
then,
night.
Katie. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for your time. You take care. Bye-bye.
Right. Cheers. Bye. Yeah, you can't be the old ways. Nothing wrong with a bit of modern technology, but you can't beat the old ways. They was tried and tested. Everything these days is not tried and tested. It's tried and fucked up. Oh, good night, midnight. What is the time anyway? That's not too bad. Still got a little bit of life left in my laptop, so I'll abuse it. I'll abuse it and use it. Oh God, I need another wee. Hang on a sec, guys. I'll be back in a sec. I'm back in the room. Does anyone else want to come on? That was all right, really, wasn't it? Well, if I'd had my guitar out, I could have played you a couple of notes. That's what I've learned. I keep getting them wrong, but I'm getting there. I can't believe how hard it is to learn how to play a guitar. I'm like, why do people bother? Cheers, midnight. We could talk about lots of stuff. Who's Tony? That might be. I don't know who that is. Oh, midnight. Midnight. Something. La 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 la. Do. God, I can't believe I can't remember the words. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough promoting you. No, I don't. Tick. Sorry, hi tick. No, I don't read music. I can if I want to, I can, but it's like I have to kind of go through all the process because I did actually used to be able to read music when I was a lot younger. But I've always wanted to play the guitar. And I bought myself a guitar like you do, a shitty one online like you do. And then I thought, oh, I don't know, I think I want to get a better guitar. So I went and bought another guitar like you do, and I paid a bit more for it. I thought if I pay more money for it, I'm going to be up for this. So I bought this guitar. I think I paid about 250 quid for it. I'm not sure. And I was a bit annoyed really because I wasn't putting in the time. And then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm going to buy myself a dearer guitar. I'm gonna force myself to play the guitar. So I bought myself a Gibson, electric Gibson, right? I really like the guitar. It's a lovely guitar. I absolutely love it. And I've probably had it nearly a year now. And I started playing and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what's going on here? I obviously haven't spent enough on the guitar. So I just put it away, right? And then I've started getting it out the last few weeks, and I've been playing it every day, just trying to learn a few tunes because apparently, I've got something in my tooth now. Hang on, a bit of chicken or something. Apparently, when you learn your first song, it inspires you. It gives you a kickstart. But I've been trying to grow my nails forever, right? This is what's really annoyed me. And because I play left-handed, not that that's relevant. All the nails on your right hand have to be really short. And I've been taking calcium tablets and everything to get my hair and my nails to grow. And they was actually doing all right. But now on my left hand, I've got all these little digs where I keep digging them on the strings and I have to file them down. Not really midnight. I'd be happy to play anything. Jimi Hendrix. Oh yeah, he was a lefty. Yeah, there's a few left-handed guitar players out there, aren't there? But I'm just so frustrated because I just want to know how to play it. I don't want all the bollocks that comes with it. But your fingers end up in the wrong place. You're plucking the wrong stuff. Once I learn my first song, I'll be quite happy because I will learn to sing along with it as well. Because I'm the type of person that will have a sing along as well. Whereas years ago, you would never have got me to sing. Never in a million years. Like you would never have got me to dance. I can't wait to go to a party, but I don't know anyone who has parties anymore. I think parties are taboo unless you have it at 10 Downing Street. Only 10 Downing Street's allowed to have parties. Yeah, I can't. It really winds me up, Marie. Really winds me up. I paid £1,000 for that last guitar, and it goes in and out of the case more than it gets played. Yeah, you're right, midnight. It's like I'll strum it, I'll do an A chord, and then I'll go, that'll be the day when you made me cry, and then I'll string it again, that'll be the day. Yeah. But that I've actually done that, yeah, where I've strung a chord and it's like that song comes into your head. It's so weird, isn't it? That guy was only 20 when he died, wasn't he? 20 something. Massive talent. Yeah, perhaps I should learn that. Is there many chords in that song? I heard is it Mother Kintyre? Mother Kintyre only uses 3 chords. Yeah, I paid £1,000 for mine, second hand. It is a beautiful guitar. It's got sunburst on the front. I'll get it out one day and play the tune I've learnt, or the note. Easy tune. Woo. Yeah, 22. Was it a plane crash he died in? I'm sure it was a plane crash, wasn't it? No, I didn't see them. Oh, but that was funny. I'll have to look for that. Is that on YouTube? It makes you laugh though. They say they're bollocks, don't they? And people are so gullible. They believe it. Oh, like, oh, well, that'd do, yeah. Well, he's just having a bit of fun, that'd do. I'm happy with that answer. He's just mugged you all off. Took your fucking parents away from you when they had COVID and you weren't allowed to go to the fucking funeral. That scabby cunt makes decisions like that. And yet he goes to a party and pisses it up and takes the piss out of us. Unacceptable. I'm going for the big guns now. Fuck you, little Mickey Mouse people on YouTube. I'm going for Boris. I'm going to wrap that bendy bus around his fucking neck. Mole. Oh, is it Mole? Mole, is it? I always thought it was Mother. Hey, see, you learn something every day on here, don't you? Oh, it is on YouTube. I'll watch that then. I'll find it. I'll track it down. See, that's what I'd like to do as well. Take some of these videos and take the piss out of them on here. Just have a laugh. Once I learn how to share and stuff, and get me little corner where I could put everything. I don't know. I'm not very clever with music history. I know a lot of music. It's like I listen to this channel on the radio, and it's just all old music. And you would be unlucky to not know one of the songs out of listening to it all day. I don't know, midnight. It might be. I like bacon. I sold a motorbike to someone up there once. I was like, "Well, you gonna come all the way down here and get it?" He went, "No, I'm sending a lorry down." He sent this lorry down. It was, is there an island called Skilly or something, or Scully, or somewhere up in Scotland? It was a like right little tiny thing off the top of Scotland. He had this fucking lorry come and pick a motorbike up, take it all the way back there. I don't know how much that cost him. Wingspan, about 20 years ago. Back when people bought CDs, you mean records? I've got a Wings album. I look for that on it. Wingspan. The way they manipulate us, though, it's unreal, isn't it, Midnight? The way they take the piss and manipulate. We make them their money. They are a product of our money. And they're just spending it all wrong. Ewan McGregor. I know Ewan McGregor. Who are they? I know them. I know them names. God, I'm so thick. Oh, Ewan McGregor. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, yeah. What, how come you brought that up? Why did you say that? Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman. Long way down. Yeah, that was the motorbike thing, wasn't it? Yeah, I used to watch that. That was quite funny, really, because they tried to do a deal, didn't they, with KTM? I think it was KTM, and KTM had a specialist come in, and he said this would do no good for our bikes. This will not do us any benefit for our bikes. So they went to BMW, and I think that was one of the worst mistakes KTM ever made, was not accepting that. Yeah, that was a good documentary. Where was it they went? John O'Groats to somewhere else, wasn't it? And then they done, oh man, they went in some fucking wild shit, didn't they? Like countries I wouldn't even dream of going to. But they looked like they had an amazing time. I mean, when you're a biker and you do all these long trips, yeah, you do have a lot of shit down times. Yeah, that was true, Midnight. KTM blew them out. KTM got one of their specialists to come in, had a discussion about it, and they went, "No, this won't do us any good." But I know that BMW, when they used BMW, one of their frames did break, didn't it? It cracked in half. But they fixed it, and that was the old idea of it all. I reckon KTM would have smashed that, but they backed out, and BMW fucking got all the glory. Yeah, they went fucking across all sorts, didn't they? I think they went across Russia. They'd done a massive trip, them two. And then they seemed to split up after that, didn't they? And then he went on his own boat, Bowman. But I've seen them do something together since then. But I thought that would have like been their future. But I don't think McGregor wanted to ruin his acting reputation. Oh. I'm going to go off in 5 minutes, guys, because the laptop's just told me that it's powering down. But I'll stay on here till it goes out. Yeah, didn't that go across a ruck and all that? I'm sure they did. Because some of it was really intense, wasn't it? Like the borders that they was crossing. Yeah, they probably went across the corner of it. Yeah, that was interesting, though. Did you ever see that one where Top Gear was riding the bikes when they had to do their driving lesson and all that, or their riding lesson? It was pathetic, really. It was one of the worst riding lessons I've ever seen. And who's that fat cunt in it? God, what's his name? I can't remember the fat cunt. What's the fat cunt? The main one. Jeremy Kyle, is it? No, Jeremy Kyle. Oh God, what was his name? Fucking idiot. He didn't pass his test, did he? He had to stay there and carry on. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's all set up anyway. And they had this American bike. I think that was in Vietnam. And they had this American bike, right? Or it was a monkey bike, but it was just painted in the American flag. It was a proper insult. And it was like, if you can't get your bike going, you're only allowed to use what you've got on you. You have to do the rest of the trip on this bike. And they was dreading it. Jeremy Clarkson, that's it. I nearly got it right, didn't I? He's just a fat piece of shit, he is. I used to like him as well. Yeah, Rich Hammond, yeah. Captain. Slow James May, yeah, that's it. With his wonky haircut. He done a thing on toys, didn't he? That fucking idiot. Why would you do that? Do a series on toys, kids' toys. Fuck's sake. I ain't seen that. Nowhere to Run. I didn't see that. I ain't seen that. I might watch that. Yeah, but the thing is though, with it's like I was watching one once, right? What's the geezer's name? That little short punk. Is it Richard Gere? Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Richard Gere. Tom Cruise. It was Tom Cruise. He'd done a motorbike chase in a film, right? And I used to think, oh yeah, that looks all right. But you look at the tyres on their motorbike, right? How much they change. Because all the different terrains that they're racing over, grass, gravel, tarmac, you name it, they went across it. You look at the tyres and how much they change. 1 minute they've got a tread on them, then the next minute they ain't. Then they've got like